Awesome. Fun. Nice. Life. Youth. Beautiful. I'm all for it.
Sunderland Independent Film Corporation presents Falling Down with Michael Douglas. I'll set the scene. He's been stuck in his car and it's right hot day, so he's got a real knack on, I'm telling you. Now listen up. He's already started a couple of rough lads on a mound somewhere near the shops. But oh no, he's going over to the local shop and the bloke in there is a well-known bloke for overcharging. Oh, what is going to happen when Mr. Michael Douglas goes in this shop?
Whew, it's hot. What do you got to drink in here?
Have a look in drink cabinets.
Yeah, we'll take a little... No, a tango.
That'll be £1.
£1 for tango? I've only got 50p, okay? I'll take, Panda Pop.
Panda Pop, 70 pence.
70... I can get 4 for £1 in Londis.
Oh yeah, well go on Londis then. I'm not bothered.
Okay, that's your attitude.
Ha! I'm not worried about that. It'll come back in shape.
Yeah, well, it's a hot day out there. How about this?
Not my topic.
Yeah.
I'll never get shape back. Get out of here, you daft twat.
Here's your 25p.
You daft twat. The topic is right. Good luck, Mr.
I've never seen that before.
Okay, we saw the movie. Goodbye, everyone. That was.
I'll welcome you, beautiful bastards, to the Stockholm Store. And tonight, on the Friday, we are discussing the 1993 classic Falling Down. I am joined by Inside Man, aka
Good evening.
Retropolis now, Emperor Goodwin, Grandad Menace, and Critical. Yeah, thanks for joining me tonight. And it should be a good one, this one, I mean, because it's fucking falling down. What else can you say?
Classic. Absolute classic.
Yeah.
And I think
it was classic when it came out.
Yeah. And as time's gone on, I think it's just become more relevant and more classic. After watching it again recently, I was like, holy shit, a lot of this applies to now. You know, like a lot of this applies to now. So I think it'll be enduring for that very reason.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us, Nix, and B. Ryan, and hopefully Mo will join us later on. So, but yeah, you're right. It's become much more fucking relevant now. It's like 31 years since this came out, and it just gets better and better and much more meaningful with each watch.
I relate to it more every year that goes past, I swear.
Yeah, but the thing is that this is the kind of movie that you could have put out in the 60s and people would have identified with it as well, right? You know,
absolutely correct. Yeah, I'd totally agree with that.
I think it's a timeless concept, to be honest, the railing against the evils of society, you know.
I'm going to be really...
in different ways, I think.
I'm going to be really unpopular tonight. I better switch my mic off. I've avoided this film for like 31 years or whatever, and yeah, I hated every minute of it. Sorry, guys.
Really? That's an interesting perspective to have. You know, I mean,
we need different outlooks. I know it's
not I'm just in the pushback.
Watch at times either. It is a very intense movie, and the situations are very relatable. I mean, we've all come across we've all come across the very kind of people William Foster has come against. You know, they may not have been Latin gang members or fucking right-wing neo-Nazis, but they've definitely been very unpleasant people that have really...
I'm not going to lie, I've been William Foster. Not to the same extent, but I have been William Foster.
Have you ever been to Middlesbrough?
The extent where I'm so angry and pissed off that I do go the route of, you know, anger, of violence. I don't see the reasonable side anymore because what is happening is so absolutely abhorrent and immoral and wrong, in my opinion. So I've not blown any construction sites up with a bazooka, but you know, I've lost my temper in a similar kind of way. I would say definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does.
There's only so much you can fucking keep restraint against until you fucking lose it. Cause some people are just fucking downright intolerable like Nick's here. No, I'm joking, man.
I mean, it is easier to not blow something up with a bazooka if nobody's giving you one. That does limit your options a bit. Yeah.
All I can say, I mean, to keep Luke's channel from getting in trouble is it's a really, really, really good thing that you can't get hold of guns easily in the UK.
I'd be really interested to find out exactly when we get to the end of the stream, why it is that you like or dislike it that much.
Well, I'm hoping that we'll hear as the film goes on that Fandad can tell us exactly why he doesn't like the film, and we can tell him exactly what's wrong.
I'll try.
No, man. I mean, seriously,
no,
though,
you got to have people who have different.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I think as long as you're being reasoned and you're not just going, oh, you don't like it, he's a toxic man and stuff like that, and you've got articulate points that you put across, I think you've got the basis for a very, very good debate there, because this is societally a very important film, in my opinion.
I might have just not got the memo. There's just a lot of times I couldn't work out what the film was trying to say or what it was trying to do, or what it wanted to be, whether it had a little bit of sort of comedy, light relief in there, it had a lot of serious tone and themes and stuff like that, but I could never work out what exactly Michael Douglas was. I didn't know whether he was just an arsehole, because I've seen that and I've come across that in my own life. I can relate to the younger things, because I've gone through a lot of that myself, and I'm still dealing with shit like that. But I couldn't work out when I saw that video. There was a home video sort of halfway through the movie, and I thought, oh, he's just a complete arsehole. He's just an angry, scary man who's been an arsehole, and I'm not surprised his wife's sort of dropped him. And then I was thinking, well, is he a psychopath? But what's driven him to become a psychopath? Because some of the things that he was doing were psychopathic, because he was going to the extreme for what I would say was like not a good enough sort of what's the word?
Motivation.
Like a viable reason.
Beyond the provocation, basically.
Right.
Reacting disproportionately to what.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But then we do have people whose breaking point, whose last straw, whose catalyst is, operates at a very, very minimal level. And when you have somebody who is predisposed to violent outbursts, this is possibly what his character is.
Well, like I said before the stream, the Punisher is the result of one very, very, very bad day. William Foster is the result of many, many, many just normally bad days.
Yeah, it's an accumulation.
He's been ground down. It's an accumulation of time.
You can sort of see as a character that's repressed a lot of emotions over the years. Even before he got married and had his kid, and he's
almost certainly got mental problems. He's got a temper.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, but that's also what being a man was about. I mean, you don't. It's not let me cry and go on Oprah and all that, right? You're stoic. You suppress the emotions, and you're supposed to provide. And the thing is that he's over time realizing that he's playing by the rules, but it's not working out for him.
Yes,
and
exactly.
and so is that anger that he's showing with his family, frustration of other things, and it's just starting to leak out because it's too much on him, or was he always an asshole? And I think the thing that Fandad was pointing out, where what is the theme? What's the film trying to say? I think the film is intentionally vague about this.
Yes, very much so. We don't get his backstory. We don't get his youth and his growing up and that kind of stuff. I think he's a damaged man. He hasn't sought the help he's got. He's in a not a hostile environment, but he's in an environment that's not good for him, and he's just been ground down over time, and he's not equipped to deal with it. He's not equipped to deal with what he sees and the evils that he perceives or the injustices, rather, not the evils, the injustices that he perceives in society, and therefore he reacts in a very negative way to it.
Yeah, and again, if you think about the era in which this happened, right? So this is a guy that works in the defense industry, but you've had the end of the Cold War. The world as he understands it has ceased to be in many ways, right? And oh, by the way, then I worked and I did all the things I was supposed to do, and I lost my wife and kid, and then I lose my job, and I am now, you know, unanchored, and adrift, and then comes a time where everything is piled up enough to him that he's okay. I'm just screw it. I'm going to get the hell out of the car and walk away from this because I'm, you know, it's hot and I'm losing it and I'm going home. And home, we're not at that point is two options. One is his back to his mom's or to his wife's, right? But then he wants to go use the phone and he deals with the Korean, you know, grocer, and there's immediate hostility from the grocer, and it's understandable because of where the grocer is located.
Yes,
right.
Gangland. In his biography, he was in the army as well, and so he might have been a bit of a drone as well, like always following orders and thinking that was the way to go. Also, I'm guessing because he also got a job building
missiles and
nukes and everything, didn't he? Missiles for the government.
Well, he steadily becomes more materialistic as the film goes on, till when at the end he's practically back in a military uniform.
Yeah, well, and it's because again he's moved from the thing about you know when you operate in a normal, you know, societal role, violence is not the option. You outsource that to the government. It's the government is supposed to have a monopoly on violence, right? But he keeps running into situations where somebody comes at him, he gets into defensive mode. Somebody else comes at him, he ends up with a knife, right? And so he is dealing with violence directly, and that's already set him outside of what normal society would accept, right? And that's a slippery slope that he just keeps going down on, right? And then, you know, he kind of snaps with, you know, the two gangbangers that are, you know, telling him he's trespassing and loitering, and then they decide to do a drive-by on him.
The world's worst drive-by.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got a hell of a body count. They just missed the one guy. And oh, by the way, there's a mural of Jesus there.
Yeah, I didn't know
we'll get to that later anyway. We'll start from the beginning with, you know, because that's what we do. We go through the film from the beginning to the end, hence the slides. And so yeah, and we will get to this because there is tons of little bits that we could miss throughout the film if you're not looking clearly.
I'm hoping that as time goes on, we might be able to convince Van Menace that there's a bit more to the film than maybe.
Well, and I think the other thing that you have to look at is this is a movie with two character studies.
Yeah, because you got the
right. Prendergast is
he's basically
almost
in the same boat, isn't he?
Right.
He's like he's managed to hold on to his moral compass and he's still and his humanity as well.
Right, and the thing is that you see one again. They run parallel paths, and one of them takes the wrong path. The other one again, they both escalate their assertiveness and are like, I'm going to have more control over my world. And I'm not going to stop. And, you know, Prendergast actually does engage, you know, in violence. He punches. This is, you know, a fellow police officer. And then, you know, at the end, you know, fuck you very much, Captain. Right. He, and by the way, gets assertive with his wife and all of that. Right. But the reason it's an interesting, this dual character study is the successful way to do it. And then the one that leads to ruin. And you see them happen at the same time, right? And they parallel themselves very much.
You've got the two completely different situations for the two characters. Prendergast is retiring; he's off to this place that he doesn't particularly want to go to because of his overbearing, stupid wife. But
and he's retiring early as well. He doesn't, and you can tell he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be behind that desk either. He wants to be out there.
Yeah, and he eats a lot of shit, right? And again, much like Defense. You know that it piles on, but he is like, okay, I'm leaving because he still has his wife and he's lost his job.
It escalates for him, but in a more healthier way, doesn't it? Well,
right, and so by him becoming more assertive, it actually improves his life and makes things better. When Michael Douglas chooses his assertion, it goes the wrong way because again, he makes the wrong choices in being assertive, and so you kind of have this dual character study, and then you have that nice third option with not economically viable, right? Who's also?
I'll be honest. I've got to be honest. I don't think in my opinion, I don't think the characters' stories are paralleled. I think they run parallel, but I don't think there are any kind of real sort of comparisons between the arcs of either of the two characters.
I think Prendergast, if anything, is a contrast to William Foster. That's where I see it, because he does have a complete...
Right, they're both, again...
flip sides of the same coin, aren't they? They're both dealt a shitty hand in life, and just one manages to get better and the other one just gets worse. It's just like...
I don't think Prendergast... I think Prendergast is the contrast to William
Right,
Foster.
it's this is the way you should do it, and in order to be successful.
Not even just that, just their life situations. Foster has constantly been betrayed, whether it's his own fault or not. He's been betrayed. He feels betrayed. He feels he's done everything right, but things keep going wrong. Prendergast he's going to enjoy early retirement. He's getting out. He seems to have had a decent career.
No, because you're missing the point that nobody respects him. He's just a desk jockey. Right.
Yeah,
all of the other cops mock him because they don't understand why he makes that choice. Right. But he's taken on the burden.
But that's because he's a very passive character, isn't it? He's not.
Well, he's stoic in the same way that Douglas tried that and it didn't work out for him. Right. And so you're seeing the Michael Douglas is flawed in some way. Right. And he doesn't follow the same path as Prendergast, but they both are kind of on this path of asserting, their manliness in some way, right? That I can now be in control of my world again.
Yeah, I mean,
right. It's just the difference in choices and outcomes are noticeably different.
Enough. He's had enough of his wife shit. He's had enough of his colleagues and everything like that.
Right.
But nonetheless, I think their positions of comfort are entirely different. Like I don't get the feeling that Prendergast has had I don't want to say trauma, because I don't think it's particularly traumatic what's happened to Foster. Well, he's been in a position of comfort for himself. Yeah, he gets teased. Yeah, he's passive about it. Yeah, he might not be particularly happy, but he's got a job. He's got financial security. He hasn't got to worry about that. He's got a...
No, what he's got is a wife who is neurotic, who was convinced when he came home one night that he was a ghost, and he had to spend time dealing with that. Right? By the way, he was shot, and so he just does desk duty for his wife, and that costs him a lot of respect in the police force. I mean, you see the chief just take a giant shit on him. All of the detectives, with the exception of his former partner, treat him like he's irrelevant, right? And you see him start to escalate his assertiveness, where he realizes that defense is actually, when they bring in the Korean shopkeeper, right? Mm-hmm. It's whatever. It's a guy, it's a white guy with a white shirt, and all this stuff, and remembers that. But then when the gangbangers come in,
then the drive-by happens, and he thinks, "Yeah, all right, this is getting a bit serious now."
And nobody takes him seriously.
Yeah.
But to the credit of both of them, they both, in their own way, they both do justify their actions, or try to justify them, try to explain themselves. To Michael Douglas, I mean, his character is constantly trying to appeal to somebody.
He doesn't want to. He wants to tell people, I'm still part of society. I'm still one of you, but he's not.
He wants to have everybody on his side, but he goes...
Well, I don't think he believes he's gone as far as he has. It's really when he kills the neo-Nazi, that's when he realizes he's gone past the point of no return.
Yeah.
Right, but prior to that, like in the Whammy Burger and everywhere else that he's been at, he's I apologize. When he breaks into the house there next to the golf course, and he thinks that he's hurt the little girl, but it's his blood. Yeah. He's like, oh, I didn't hurt you. I didn't hurt you, baby. And they have to tell him it's your blood. Right? Again, he's still in his mind a part of society, and it almost confuses him at times, because one of the things that he reacts to is rudeness. Right? That's why he shoots up the phone booth, because the guy's being an asshole about it, right? There's the guy that's yelling in the car, and he just punches him as he walks by. Right, and he gets mad at the road construction when he finally has the rocket launcher, right? All of these things are like he is not taking the affronts that he would anymore. And Prendergast does the same thing. He gets to the point where he punches out one of the police officers.
But it's like it's not too extreme. I mean, the guy,
right?
The guy.
It's a matter of degree, right? And you see in Prendergast the correct, successful way to get out of this rut, to assert yourself, to gain control of your life, and then it contrasts with Michael Douglas's train wreck choices.
And plus, Pendergrass is a bit more humorous as well. It's like a very funny moment to sort of like lighten up from all the intense moments that this film is showered with. I mean, and
yeah. But he has to, because that's the only way that he can survive in that police force with
like
everybody taking the piss out of him.
Kind of disrespect as well, isn't it? Like,
right.
You disrespect someone's wife, you deserve a slap. It's one of those things. It's
and of course his threshold is considerably higher than Michael Douglas's.
Right.
Considerably higher, and it takes an awful lot for him to really get wound up and to finally let go.
I mean, and again, he's justified.
Yeah,
Michael Douglas isn't.
Pendergast's had the worst thing that could possibly happen to a man happen to him.
Mm-hmm.
So everything else is just like superfluous. It's just doesn't mean anything. If you're losing a child, then everything else that the world throws at you is just insignificant. Really.
Yeah, there is the question though whether he suspects his wife did it.
Yeah, that did come up.
Where he talks about she's much older than Sid's.
It was put down as like infant death, which
it was sudden infant death, and she was 2 years old, really healthy, and that's way past the time. And he talks about how his wife was not ready or really capable of having children, mentally or whatever, but she did it for him.
Do you think that his colleagues, workmates or whatever they're called, think that he is a coward because of the way he chose to?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course they do.
They absolutely, they make that clear.
His captain fucking calls him spineless later on.
But he's done it for his wife, hasn't he? I mean, she's paranoid about him.
But getting
shot on their last day and stuff. So
it's also part of that question that we never know what other people are going through.
Mm-hmm.
What's actually making them tick? What's making them adopt some kind of disposition where they're going to just break, and in Coach's characters.
Well,
right, and doubly so because again, these are men that grew up in a stoic mindset that you don't run around and talk about how my wife does this and whatever. No, right? I mean, he tells his partner, who he has a very close relationship, but even that is a surprise to her. Right, and they've been together for a good long time.
Well, they say you've got three different elements.
I mean, if the wife really did kill the kid, I mean, shouldn't you be fucking arresting her? Because that's messed up. That
I think he would blame himself in many ways because again, he said she had the kid because he wanted it. He knew better. He knew that she wasn't ready for this. And by the way, this is what he has left. I mean, he is, if nothing else, madly in love with his wife. And is and talks about all the things that she went through. She lost her figure and all this stuff, and really all she had was her looks because she wasn't really anything else. And then she's going through menopause and all this. And he's making these excuses, but the thing is that it is by overly indulging her, he's making her worse. And so when he finally gets assertive and is like, and leave the skin on the chicken, and she's like, okay, but you don't have to yell, and she suddenly stops being quite so neurotic, right? Because the big dog has decided to bark. And I love that when he hangs up the phone and he kind of hitches his pants and sucks in the air, through his teeth or whatever. Like, it was like, gunfight at the OK Corral kind of strutting on that.
My wife, but she still killed my kid though.
Yeah, but that's fine.
I know it's kind of ruined. It's kind of ruined. Just kind of put a bit of a dampener on it a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has suspicions, but I don't think he knows for sure. And again, I think he would blame himself.
Yeah, maybe. But
I mean, you would as any parent. You lose a child, you will take on that guilt.
It is good how it starts as well. Straight away, you get into that point of view of Foster here as well, because every single shot is like a big extreme close up to every other car, and it feels like you feel the
claustrophobia.
Yeah, the temper. Yeah,
it is hot as hell, and everything is closing in on him.
The anxiety,
this is like sensory overstimulation for me. This is the kind of thing that makes me drive absolutely mad. The heat, noise, noises around me and stuff like that. I have to take propranolol if it gets like this, because otherwise I do get somewhat irate and murderous. So
angle as well. Come on, that really, he really puts you in his shoes here as well. And we've got these obnoxious kids throwing things about, laughing, and it's
honestly, I empathise with William Foster more than I probably should. I don't think everything he does is unreasonable by any means.
No, that's the brilliance of the way that they wrote this, is that you understand the everybody has had that fuck this shit, I've had enough. Right.
This film started off with Joel Schumacher really wanting to leave his car when he was stuck in the traffic.
Yeah, when he was stuck in traffic, yeah,
and he thought, all right, what would happen if I did manage to dump this car? And that's
right. What happens if I step out of the rules?
Yeah.
Well,
and like you said earlier, is everyone else is staying in the lanes because that's what they're supposed to do. He's doing what they're not supposed to do now. That's his one little first step to breaking free from.
I do wonder sometimes if this film slightly broke Joel Schumacher as well, because the next film he made after this was Batman Forever.
I know. You'd think Joel Schumacher would have been classic Batman film because, especially psychologically,
about as opposite to this as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, I'm wondering if this broke him in some way.
The thing with Joel Schumacher is he's done The Lost Boys, which has a really cool gothic sort of like dark look to it, and he got Falling Down, which is very realistic and is very psychologically sound, especially in the more disturbing aspects of the human psyche. And he should have been perfect to do a Batman film, but no, he went straight into the camp, straight into the stupidity.
Yeah, straight into the over the top.
But you have to remember that these are the franchises are studio driven. You know, so the director, they're incidental.
Yeah, because I
mean, the thing is, I was in the studio and I was looking for that, and I was like, oh, I want to make an ultralight, campy, bat nipples film. I wouldn't look at Falling Down and go, "That's our man."
I know. It's weird.
The problem is when
because Josh can do serious stuff. I mean, Phone Booth is really fucking good. That's a good
great film.
Well, he did Flatliners, Lost Boys, St. Elmo's Fire. Of course, he also did DC Cab. So let's not talk about that. That's oh my god.
But when you have a job in director, they have to go where the jobs are. It's as simple as that. It's they're not always responsible for the hideous outcome.
Also, Batman was a pretty damn big franchise by that stage. So
plus you had Batman Returns scaring the fuck out of the kids as well.
Well, and think about it. So he did Batman Forever. Then he did Batman and Robin, and then he did 8mm.
Yeah.
Which again is a psychological. Oh my god, that's an unpleasant movie to watch. So it's just bring me in, and he kind of can bring whatever energy you need.
Plus, now that William Foster has now walked out, we cut to Pendergrass, who's actually in the same situation, but he's not getting too stressed out. He's looking at this little sign with this little bit of very funny graffiti, and he's seeing something to lighten the mood a little bit while stuck in there.
Is that billboard a nod to Jaws?
Yes.
Yeah. And it comes back later.
And it does come back later.
It's a little hint that comes back later as well, which is helps him track down Foster. And it looks like something very insignificant at first, but no, it's a nice little setup for a little payoff as well.
And
again, they're starting off in the same place. They follow similar paths. It's just radically different outcomes.
I know, and this is where the traffic cop has come up, and we found out later he's a little bit of a drone as well. It's like this guy's complaining about the car that's jamming, that's just holding traffic up. and so trying to move out of the way, and
Well, like in Goodwin, he's gone against the rules. You don't get out of the traffic jam and just fuck off. You know, you're supposed to sit there. You're supposed to stay there. And
I was like,
William Foster's just gone, nope, not doing it. I'm going home.
And the thing is, this guy actually fucking has the nerve to say, just stay in your car and we'll get a tow truck. And it's like, come on, can't we just move out of the way? It's like, listen, there's a lot of metal going around at high speeds.
Yeah, they look around. It's like, where exactly is this happening?
I know. Yeah, but Pendergrass tells him he's a fucking cop, and he's like, listen, let's just move the fucking car out of the way, okay? So he complies. They move it out, and out of shot, he does notice the car says defense, and once again, he thinks it's just nothing. It's a personalized license plate.
Yep.
Whoever this guy is probably nothing. I won't ever come across him, but little does he know, he probably will. Yeah,
then the motorcycle falls over, and then this guy starts having a bad day.
Yeah, he's not a very heroic guy, is he? He's just not the fucking guy's motorbike by accident. Did he knock it back?
No, it falls on its own, and he goes to like pick it up, and the guy's like,
tries to be helpful, doesn't he? And the guy's just like, just leave it. And
you've already been a pain in my ass. I've had to move this car. Yeah.
He was being helpful. He was just moving the car out the way so everyone else could get past.
Yeah, but that cop was not interested in
he's like
in dealing with himself.
He's like proper way by the book, too much by the book.
Yeah.
And this is Venice Beach, which surprisingly doesn't have a lot of homeless people. So, 1993 probably wasn't as bad, especially during the riots. And this, you wonder who this woman was, and she's on the way she's on the way home from with the grocery. She hears the phone ring, and it's obviously Foster, but he's just not saying anything, and he doesn't have the nerve, so he puts the phone down. And he says, no, I'm going to ring her again. I need to ring her again and talk to her, but he's got no change. And this is where we come to the very first moment where his temper starts to escalate a little bit more into some kind of violence, but it's still very minimum at the moment. It's still just something petty like property damage.
Yeah. Well, he comes in, he's hot. I just want you no change, because you got to buy something. And okay. He goes, and I love him, like, just taking the Coke and putting it on. I mean, we've all been hot enough where it's like, okay.
Oh, yeah, you feel that coldness of the Coke as well when he puts it on. It's like, I don't know how Joel Schumacher shoots this film, how he did it, though, but it's the way he shoots the movie, the way he just, the camera closes in on his face as the Coke can just cools him down. It's
everything is sweaty in this movie.
Oh, I know. You just want to jump into a fucking ice bucket at the moment.
Yeah.
In this movie,
you can just feel the misery that everybody is kind of going through.
Oh yeah, plus it's a heat wave in a very hostile urban city.
It's oppressive. The entire nature of it is oppressive.
Yeah,
I like the way that they've sort of yellowed out the windows as well. I think that's probably a
solar film
choice on behalf of the cinematographer.
Yeah,
it makes it more claustrophobic, and it looks really hot and sweaty inside there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just want to jump out. You just want to run outside the bloody house and take deep breaths.
Yeah.
Or stand inside.
But that doesn't work so well for defense anyway when he decides to go outside from this place.
Oh yeah, it just gets fucking worse. Yeah. But there is.
This is the bit kind of this was a bit of a bugbear for me as well. The fact that he got so over agitated over the price of a can of Coke. I mean, I get really angry at times, but I think I would have just
called him. It needs to change, doesn't he? And he's kind of wondering why is this guy overcharging me just for a bloody Coke? I mean, why can't I just take a little bit of a loss or something, or take the change anyway? That way, I've got some money to ring my wife. But
he's already been denied once, right? I just need change for the phone. No, you got to buy something. Okay. And then the price is absurd. And he's like, but then I won't have enough change. And the guy's like, it's not my problem. So again, there's this rudeness that's happening, and that is triggering defense quite a bit.
I have to be honest.
There's some racial tension as well, isn't there? Because his government's giving his country a shitload of fucking foreign.
Yeah. He's like, do you have any idea how much we go in South Korea? I don't know. And he's like, well, I'm sure it's a lot, because he doesn't know either.
No.
But can any of you deny that you haven't been in a position like that and really kind of been pissed off when you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And he's just taken it to a different level. We've all,
Yeah.
I think we've
He
all.
believes is justified as well. Like he even says, "I'm standing for my rights as a consumer."
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like you've got to believe as well that some of the hiked price may well be due to the fact that it's boiling fucking hot. So
Well, it's also where he's located.
You know, there's no prices on anything. He's just basically gone, right, it's that much.
Yeah, but no, I mean, the other thing is that so where it's located, because this guy is going to have high loss. There's going to be a lot of shoplifting in the area that he's in, right? And so
I presume that's why he's got the baseball bat.
everything, yeah, and everything is jacked up. And no, by the way, I mean, the 92 riots, man, there was a lot of violence against the Koreans at that time. And the Koreans weren't messing around. They climbed up on the roofs of their stores and started shooting looters.
Yeah, like Apu in The Simpsons. Fucking, thank you, come again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fucking hell, if you look, the Koreans are pretty fucking racist. I've heard one of the actors who was Filipino was proper treat like shit when he was in Korea, or like he wasn't allowed on a bus because it wasn't a bus for foreigners. But there was no foreigners. There's no buses for foreigners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah. Koreans are pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, hilariously, this guy isn't actually Korean. He's
Chinese,
yeah.
isn't he? And the guy who claims to be fucking Japanese is Korean.
Yeah.
He's lying. He couldn't stop fucking saying. He's been on he's on the Batman, the Joel Schumacher Batman movies as well. He's the guy handing Edward Nygma the tear when he pretends to cry that his boss has committed suicide.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he is American in real life, but he does play it well as well as just this fucking angry, stereotypical like fucking liquor store owner. It's
yeah, it doesn't really speak English particularly well, you know, kind of.
I know it adds more tension as well. It's like, okay, my country has given your country a shitload of money. You come over here, you don't even bother to learn the language properly, and you fucking overcharge me for a Coke. It's like, and you attack me with a baseball bat.
Yeah, and from the flip side is the store owner is like, you're in my store. This is my place. You're talking shit to me. What the hell, right? And so there's just this escalation. And again, the store owner is used to being in a rough neighborhood, so you reach for the bat. And then here we go, right? This is now we've started on violence.
Then again, look at this situation and now think what Prendergast would do in this situation.
Right.
Well, Foster probably could have said, "You don't need to hit me with a bat. I'm not black, you know." It's like, sorry, you Americans all look alike.
Yeah.
There is kind of a dark comedy to it as well, a little bit as well. Like when he smashes all the fucking property, when he labels the overprices and
we're rolling back prices to 1965.
And when he finally gives in and fucking
talking about 1965.
Yeah.
How does that relate to the Vietnam War?
You would just be heating up. We would have sent advisors in. We would have started to send in
racial tensions, wouldn't it?
No, I think it's more about his age. So defense is supposed to be in his mid-30s in this, right?
In real life, wasn't it?
But but he's supposed to be like 35 or 30.
He looks pretty young for his age, even when he was getting close to his 50s. Because
he's got to be like 80 something now, surely.
He's in his 80s, He looks pretty fucking good for a guy in his 80s, though. I'll give him that. He has not changed a fucking bit.
Still married to bloody Catherine Zeta-Jones, from what I remember.
Oh, lucky bastard, man. Lucky bastard. He is still a stunner, man. Jesus.
Yeah, but I think the bigger thing is, so 65 is before you have a lot of the cultural changes in the U.S.
This is what I'm thinking. Like, it's before Vietnam, so I presume it was.
Yeah, and you haven't had the long hot summer of '68.
Yeah.
You know, the riots on campuses, the burning of the cities, the assassinations.
The civil rights movements, everything.
Yeah, 65 is really kind of that last heyday. You know, the Beatles have come in, and oh boy, you know, look at them in the U.S.
66, 67 was when the hippies started coming around a bit more, wasn't it?
Right, 67 is when you really start seeing the hate and all that stuff, right? The Haight-Ashbury district and all of that. Yeah, so 65 is really kind of the last gasp of you know, the normalcy as he would have understood it, right?
Which is why I'm
to be
thinking,
fair,
as time's gone on, he's unable to deal with the changes. That
Right.
he's
The world keeps changing. He can't handle it, and then it only gets worse when you have the end of the Cold War for him.
But to be fair, I mean, 65 just could be an arbitrary year that he's.
Oh yeah, it could be. I mean,
there's
all sorts of things.
It may or may not mean anything.
Yeah, there's all sorts of things that we look into, and you're like, are you actually looking? It's like, the book was blue, and it's like, because it's simplified. It's like, no, the book was just fucking blue.
Yeah.
But it's still an interesting idea to bring up, that it would, as Emperor Goodwin says, it was the last time that defense William Foster had normalcy, and it's from that point onwards that he's seen the degradations in society.
Please don't use normalcy. Please don't use please. Normality is preferable, not normalcy, please. That's very much a reality TV show word.
Been corrupted.
Yeah.
But
you sound like Alan Partridge.
Oh,
I feel like Alan Partridge.
Imagine if he was in Falling Down, because that would be really.
It's a very different film.
No.
That's going to be slightly more like the Bob Mortimer sketch, I think.
It would be. It would be. Yeah. But like I said, it is darkly funny, because after he caves in, he's like, he goes back to being very formal, doesn't he? Saying, "It was a pleasure to do business in your establishment."
Yeah, and again, he makes sure that he pays, and then he gets changed.
Reasonable, doesn't he? He still thinks at this stage,
yes,
absolutely 100%, that he is in the right.
Yes.
He's standing up for his rights as a consumer.
Yeah.
And as
he is being the reasonable man. He is dealing with this unreasonable world.
Yeah, exactly. He's standing up for his rights as a consumer. Mm-hmm. I'm an American. It's my right to stand up for my liberties. I kind of do see that from his point of view. I mean, he's not totally far off. It's just how he's executing.
Right. It's always a matter of degree with him.
Yeah. It's very much, it's you, not me. He doesn't, he literally doesn't realize until the end of the film that it's him, not the world.
Yeah. I mean, there's times like, Whammy Burger is a moment where he realizes, and he apologizes.
Yes, he does. Yeah. But again, Again, he doesn't. I don't think he thinks he's in the wrong. He just realizes.
No, this was an accident, and I scared people, and I'm terribly sorry. Yeah,
exactly. Because he wants to establish his right, but he doesn't want to look like he's the bad guy.
Right, because in his mind, he's not.
Yeah, he tries to get everybody in that restaurant on his side when he's sort of saying that this looks nothing like the photograph. What do you guys say?
Exactly, and it is that it's that precise. Justification for his actions, on every turn, every single turn, every confrontation. It's like he has to justify everything that he's doing.
And the thing is that when you look at each of those situations, you agree with him in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. The guy screaming at the old lady for cutting him off. I mean,
and he just punches him. Yeah.
And yet,
like the homeless dude was chasing after him, going, "Oh, come on, give me!
Yeah,
you've got to give me something." I'm like, mate, I would have laid you out by now.
Get a job.
I mean it. Violence, fight, flight, reaction. I would have laid you out with the briefcase.
Shooting the rockets in the sewage system where the apparent fucking disaster. Construction is going is almost justified, because they're holding people up for no fucking reason. People need to get to work.
He interrogates the guy. Now he is intimidating this guy to hell and back, but he gets the guy. We're not actually doing it for any reason. It's just
quite funny though, because he doesn't know how to use the bazooka, even though he makes missiles.
Yeah,
and it's a little black kid who comes up to him and tells him how to fire the bazooka.
That actually does contradict his past in the army, which it says in the biography for some reason. So he probably
don't know what he did in the army.
He hasn't exactly been in combat.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Exactly. He might not have actually.
Could have been a medic. Could have been a rifleman. Yeah. Could have just been a rifleman.
He's probably just been the guy that builds missiles. He's like an engineer or whatever. Something like that. Steve even says he's overeducated and underskilled.
Yeah, and then he goes, or it's the other way around.
Yeah. I would certainly think that if he had been in the military in that capacity, he would have, PSTD notwithstanding, he would be better equipped to deal with more hostile situations.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's ever. No, I don't think they ever claim that he was in the military.
I was going to ask that.
He worked in the defense industry.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the military. He was a defense contractor.
Yeah, that might make a bit more sense why he's a little bit of an amateur at weapons, because
right, he doesn't know how to use it.
He kind of misses, doesn't he? When he shoots the neonazi, he misses one shot and hits the mirror, and he's right close to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is where I have a little bit of an issue with sort of Michael Douglas's character, was the fact that we didn't really get any character development or sort of backstory to who he actually was. Like, was he in the military? Is he an actual psychopath? What drove him to become so sort of angry? There wasn't a great deal.
I got the feeling.
But then on that,
I thought you got a little bit of context from the videos and what the wife was telling the police officers about.
And also his mother says a few things as well.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling, honestly, I do just get the feeling he's just a damaged person and he can't deal.
Well, but I think part of the not overfilling in the backstory is making Bill the everyman that we all can identify with him.
Yeah. But it's not just
more ambiguous as well, isn't it? So
that's
it. That conclusion.
Exactly. That kind of ambiguity actually does allow the audience to think for themselves. It doesn't, these aren't, this isn't a movie that kind of, tells you absolutely the ins and outs of everything.
Right.
It gives you an opportunity to sit down and draw your own conclusions, which is what makes it a very good movie.
The way I like to look at this movie is there for, and I'm not a religious man, but for the grace of God, go I.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at this movie. This could be you. If you had what happens to him go on.
Right. And I think that's why you have the three, options there. You have not economically viable, you have defense, and then you have Prendergast. And they're
he's
all
with everything in the worst way. He can't deal with what he sees around him. He can't deal with what happens to him.
And I think also he runs into situations that force his hand. Yes, but the thing is that he is again, it's the he stepped out of society, and so the movie wants him to continue on that slippery slope, and it makes sense, right, that it happens to him. But in each situation, you're like, yeah, I mean, you can see that why he's acting this way, why he does these things, right? Because he's confronted by a couple of gangbangers that are threatening him with a knife.
Peaceful situations, like, guys, I didn't mean to sit in your pile of
right. He's trying to be reasonable. They're not. Okay, here you go. Have some of that.
He's provoked, and you can argue about how severe the provocation is, but he's provoked in every single situation that he resorts to violence.
Right.
There is also a kind of it's either going to be them or it's going to be me moments. There are several of those, and of course, it's the whole cornered animals thing, isn't it? It's the cornered animals situation.
It's them. It's not me. I'm the one in the right. Society is wrong, and he just can't adapt and deal to what he sees. And he's so often he's reminded of just how bad society is.
Well, and again, he's been in the way that he's been betrayed. He did everything right.
I protected these people. I built weapons to protect this country.
and this is I get fired.
Exactly.
And I am now. Constantly. Yeah, and I'm just going through the motions because I don't want to admit, let other people know that I've been reduced to this.
Yes, and it makes me wonder how Pendergast would, respond if he was in the same situation. Because he doesn't get the respect. He's had that horrible thing happen, but again, he's kind of comfortable in his job. He's not
right. He hasn't gone to the extreme. He hasn't been pushed to the extreme.
He's not totally happy being a desk jockey, but he's still making do with what he has.
He's more adaptable. Yeah. He's a lot more adaptable than defenses. That's the difference.
He still seems to be more grateful with his lot. He's more grateful with his lot in life as well. He never, even though it's like he says, "Listen, they lied to us all. They betrayed us all. Even the fucking fish, And he's kind of accepted that.
That's the thing, isn't it? He's made his peace with it. I think is the way to look at it. And he's made his peace with this situation. Where, all right, I'm going to be the butt of the jokes. They're going to pour sand on top of all my stuff. He's made his peace with it. He might not be happy about it, but he's been like, that's my lot. That's what it is. It could be worse.
Yeah.
And then, as Goodwin says, he asserts himself as the film goes on, and he sees the extent that defense has gone to, and then he's like, well, you know, he's got a point, but maybe he's gone to the extreme kind of thing. Like, you know,
there is
like
very much a
because
very
you
much
kind
a
of seen him as
a
you kind of
suck it
see him
up
as
or-
because you kind of see him. It's like, okay, this is a joke. They're pranking me now because I'm retiring. But I thought leaving the kitty lit his daughter's the picture
Yeah,
of
his lost daughter's picture.
yeah, that's what he's wound up at, isn't it? Yeah.
But it is that either suck it up or fight against it.
That's it, yeah,
those are the
exactly, yeah.
two.
And the thing is, he could have gone straight away. He could have just left early now on his last
Yes,
day. But, he decides to stay.
exactly.
Yeah, but again, he is like Defense in that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm playing by the rules, right? And in Prendergast's case, it's not wine and roses working out for him, but it's working out for him a lot better than it did for Defense.
Yes, yeah, exactly. He's in a relatively comfortable position.
Yeah, he hasn't had the level of pressure put on him. Yeah, I mean, yes, he's lost a child, and that's devastating, and he's got a wife that's crazy and is driving him insane, right? And he doesn't have respect, all this stuff, but he still has his position in society, right? He still has value, and understands his place in the world. Defense doesn't have that.
Even his ex-partner still is a friendly face to come to go to work with, to see and talk to, because
exactly, it's
everyone else, everyone else.
It's relative comfort. It's relative comfort,
Yeah.
That's why Duvall's character Prendergast can sit in that car and be like, "Yeah, I'm boiling hot, but hey, there's a billboard. It's making me laugh. I'm I can deal with it." Foster can't. He can't. He's
he's more of an optimist.
Because Foster has played by the rules. He has played by the rules, and then where's that led him?
Right.
It's led
well, the thing is, we don't know. We never find out why he got fired. It could well be. I mean, they say something about it being about his behaviour, so it could be he's one of those people.
No, he says that his boss told him that he's overeducated, underskilled, or is it the reverse? Right. That it was basically just we're downsizing and you're out.
Oh, it was a downsizing thing. Okay, I didn't know if it might be due to the fact that he's got a temper, because obviously that's how he loses his family, isn't it? He's impatient and
his wife suspects that he could lash out one day and even harm their daughter.
Or harm her.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, she does say that he never hit it. He never hit her.
No, but she said she very much thinks he could.
Thought he would do.
Yeah.
So,
and of course,
you kind of see that in the video, though. You do a little bit. You kind of think, "Oh, Jesus Christ, he is pretty fucking scary." He hasn't.
Yeah, no, he's got anger issues for sure. Absolutely.
But the thing is, look at. I mean, even the video. What he's trying to do is he's trying to have like the perfect birthday. Yeah. He bought the rocking horse,
and he can't
put her on it, and the child is unhappy about it, and he's like, "But I bought the rocking." I mean, again, he has this view. And it's much like he views the rest of the world. I'm doing the right things. Why am I not getting the results that I expect?
Why am I not getting the idyllic family video?
Right.
Yeah. And of course, it's also this kind of the choice of wanting to be a victim and choosing not to be a victim as well. Prendergast has chosen not to be the victim, whereas Foster has chosen a path that's led him to ultimately be this victim and feel that he has to fight back.
No. Plus, apart from defense, William Foster has no one. Prendergast still has his partner to have a good laugh with and to keep things brightened up while he's working his desk job and getting this.
Someone to confide in if he needs to, and he knows that they respect that she still respects him.
I know and she's a very good character. You can tell there's a lot of history between these two as well, and there's a lot.
Yeah, it's well acted.
And it's.
Robert Duvall is great in everything I've ever seen him in. I don't think I've ever seen him put a bad role in.
Yeah, Robert Duvall is always good.
Yeah,
I think, like I said, he's always been fucking good. Even in bad films, he's always giving it 100%. He's one of the fucking good ones as well.
Holy shit, he's 93 now.
Yes, he's 93. Fucking hell, he's still going, man.
Bloody hell. Oh, do you know the actor who plays his wife's called? Tuesday Weld. How's that for a name?
Oh, yeah. That's
right. She's in a few films. She was in Thief. Right. She was in Once Upon a Time in America. She's in she was a really gorgeous woman back in the day.
Mm.
She was
Duvall's got at least another 10 movies in him.
Yeah, and there's Rachel Tickerton plays his partner, and she was a bit of a fucking stunner in the day.
Foxy. She was
Yeah,
in
but
Total-
again,
Total
but she
Recall
is
and
really acting well in this.
she's
She
good.
really delivers the role.
Yes,
She was, yeah. She lent into her role really well.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I've just worked something out about William Foster. I don't know if you want me to share.
Heck yeah.
Because it's starting to remind me of me and a little bit of my own father, which is kind of worrying and a little bit upsetting. But see, I hate bullies with a passion, and I would probably do some of the things that this William Foster does, although I've spoken out against it. But if you look back to where it starts with the Korean guy, he bullies him. He says, you will pay my prices for my coke. This is my shop. You'll do what I say. Bully. He goes to the Hispanic guys. Give me your money. I want your money for nothing. Give it to me now. Or we're gonna.
I'm saying
bully.
he's never
It's
been
it's
instigated.
discourtesy, right?
Yeah.
If you're rude, if you do these things, that you kind of break these social mores that reasonable people engage in. That's when he reacts.
When he
And
goes to the
Wonderburger
fast
does it.
food place, he comes up across the corporate
Yeah.
smile on your face.
Nothing
Yeah,
we
that's
can
smug,
do about it.
dismissive bullshit from the manager.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
we're
I
going to
think-
tell you when you will eat lunch. We will tell you
Yeah.
when you can eat your breakfast.
Yeah.
We will bully you into how.
Yeah, and we're not willing to be flexible over 4 minutes
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
because
I mean,
it's like 4 minutes past the time.
that assessment of the bully concept, I think is absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah. The Nazi guy does
because-
it when he bullies the
Yeah.
two gay
Yes.
guys. on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yep.
And again, it boils down to choosing to be a victim or choosing not to be a victim.
And
of
the
bullies.
thing about this is that I absolutely hate bullies, and I've defended people against them for the entirety of my life. And when I've done it for other people, I've always been in the right, and I've been justified, and I get thanked for it for whatever it was. When I try and do it for myself, I always end up being totally in the wrong or making a complete ass of myself for some reason. But yeah, hate bullies. My father was a bully, and yeah, that's enough of that.
Well, this is it. I mean, what William
So,
Foster thinks he's standing up for the everyman, for the common man.
Yeah.
He's standing up for what's right in that way.
Yes.
He doesn't think that he is being unreasonable, but he is driven to doing unreasonable things because he can't handle it.
And that's very much a societal thing, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. This is absolutely
Yeah.
a societal and a character study at the same time. This
Yes.
film.
Because it doesn't matter whether anybody disagrees with anybody these days. They don't do it through any form of cordial discourse.
No.
It's always through some kind of violent action. So if I disagree with somebody or somebody disagrees with me, they would rather start making accusations of me being, I don't know, what's the usual things that people point to?
Racist,
nasty,
homophobe,
racist,
misogynist.
homophobe,
Yeah.
Bigot is an
You're an
actual-
istophobe. Yeah.
Bigot is a
all of those-
catch-all now.
all of those trigger words, which are highly offensive to somebody who isn't any of those things.
Yeah.
And of course, it's done as a form of provocation to get people to take physical action against somebody. But then that disagreement, if you do disagree with somebody and they disagree with what your views are, they are not interested in you reasoning with them. They would rather bully you. They would rather fight you. You know, and that's what we have now.
Well, and it's the things that he reacts to are essentially there. It's like I'm trying to cheat. I'm taking advantage of you being courteous and the look. Humans are like porcupines, right? We get together and we get real prickly real fast, right?
Yeah.
And so kind of the social lubricant is the thing, like somebody bumps into you and you apologize, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Because again, we have to give a certain amount of grace to other people in order to get along with each other. But there are always those people that are willing to take advantage of you and your etiquette, right? Yeah. And that's essentially a cheat, right? And is in many ways a form of bullying. Right.
He kind of starts doing this with his wife a little bit more. Like because he's seen her now as an obstacle of having the perfect family life with his daughter again, and yet that's when she kind of becomes his main target in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even coming to a point where he could have almost killed her and his daughter, and maybe turned the gun on himself.
Yeah, I think. I mean,
that's where
by the end, he's pretty dedicated to that.
Yeah, but that's how it's going at the end.
Yeah,
at the end of the film.
But again, it's
like,
once he gets past the point of no return, then
exactly. He's like, I don't want to be in this world because I see it as completely disgusting, corrupt, and not worth living in. And from a twisted perspective, he's like, I'm going to protect my family from it by killing them.
Yeah, and
once he kills the neo-Nazi,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's committed then.
Well, the thing is, what the neo-Nazi represents for him, because obviously by that stage he's already done a few bad things, but that Nazi saying like, "You're like me, and we're going to take down the system," and that's when he's like, "No, you're scum. I am still above you. I've not got to your level. I am still better than you, but you've just shown me."
Yeah, I'm trying to make the system work. I'm reacting to people who keep fucking with the system.
Exactly, and that shocks him. That shows him what an absolute piece of shit society can be. And I think that's the turning point for him. At that point, he's like, right, no going back. This is it. I've got.
So I don't think that he's compromising his own. I don't think he's compromising morality. I don't think there's a morality compromise.
I don't think he compromises morality at any point throughout the film. Not his own morality. I say right up until the point that Duval says, "You're the bad guy." Foster has no idea. Yeah. He thinks he is in the right, even when he's going to kill his family. He thinks he's doing
right. He's going to have a perfect day. It's going to be, we're gonna see it, and then we're all going to go to sleep in the dark.
Yeah, exactly like that. Because he's just he's looked around him and he's had a whole day. All he's tried to do is get home, and he's had nothing but obstacle, and he's had a continuing escalation of shit, of being abused, as you've said, almost bullied by society. Constantly, and he's reached his breaking point. It's that simple. He can't deal with it.
Yeah, and again, when he sees his daughter, and he was like, "When did you get so big? How did you get so?" They took that from me.
Yeah.
Right, and just like they took essentially his dignity because of his job. He no longer has value. Right, it's everybody has been taking, and everybody that he's run into has been violating the rules of conduct that you have in a civil society.
Yeah, and his daughter would represent innocence to him as well.
Right, and so to save her from this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, now we've come to a scene where he's tried to talk to his wife again, and he's still not getting through. And these two gang members have followed him because he's the white guy in their fucking area. He's going to be easy pickings. And this is where we meet his wife, played by Tuesday Weld, and I don't know if she put weight on for this role, because if you've seen her in her other films, she's a bit of a fucking bombshell.
I don't think I've ever heard of her before.
This is a bit later than some of those films.
Yeah,
it's a very unflattering portrayal, I suppose.
I know she's very neurotic, isn't she? She's like very neurotic. She's having a nervous breakdown all the fucking time, and just over now.
Well, and she plays it well because she's manipulating him.
Yeah.
And knows that it works.
Yeah,
his bitches are crazy incarnate. It really is.
Well, but the thing is that again, when he snaps back suddenly, playtime is over, right?
Yeah, I know.
So again, that he is kind of enabled this behavior
out
of his guilt and then it's because again he was shot and she was convinced
he's a very passive guy as well. He's a good guy. He's very friendly, outgoing, but he's also very passive.
Well, he consistently chooses the path of least resistance.
Mm-hmm.
He will be the one to walk away from a situation.
But again, I think a lot of that is that he has a lot of guilt about the how things have gone in the marriage, right? He the loss of the child, that he kind of he knew that she wasn't cut out for motherhood, but she did it for him, and so he carries kind of his guilt, so he enables her through his guilt, right? And the problem is that's not helping. And by the time that, becomes assertive, it's like, okay, things might turn around a bit now, because she needs kind of a strong person to be in charge, because she clearly can't handle being in charge.
No, not at all. She's she's a wreck.
Yeah, she's the little yippy dog that barks in the yard, and then if you come in, then they just back up and keep yipping because they're scared shitless.
Yeah, I mean, she's also a damaged person.
Mm-hmm.
And there you've got the concrete jungle, that obviously represents that he's looking at through the hole in his shoe, which is another symbol of erosion, of decay.
Yeah, and then the newspaper, he's got all of the job classified circled.
Yeah, they're all circled out, which hints that he's been unemployed. I caught that in the trivia. I cannot believe I missed that in the movie. That's a very nice little hidden moment. That
they pull in like a close up when he's getting the newspaper ready to put into the shoe, and you see all of them circled.
Yeah, and there's obviously a guy in the wrong fucking place at the wrong time, because these fucking two assholes start coming up trying to. They play they do it under the pretense that he's violating some fucking territory, but really they're just trying to fucking squeeze him.
Yeah, shake him down.
Yeah, just shake him down. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it says it right here. Really, that says all that.
Yeah.
Maybe should have wrote it in fucking English.
I like the fact that he's not so fucking scared as well. I like the fact that he's still kind of cool and saying, well, maybe they should have wrote it in fucking English then.
Yeah.
And he laughs it off as well, like he's trying to sort of like calm him down, but it's not working. They just want to fucking shake him down. They don't want to be his friend. They see him as a white.
Yeah, again, these are predators.
They think he's got money, don't they? They see the shirt and tie. It's completely different. That's the other thing, is everybody else he meets is not the shirt and tie. That's where you get the us versus them thing. So, like everyone said, he's part of a system. He's part of a society that he's stepping away from. And as he steps away from it, he sees the people who aren't like him, and they see him, and they think that he is, well, for want of a better term, economically viable. They think that he's got money. They think that he's probably rich because he's got this briefcase. He's got the shirt and tie. He's got the pens. So they think they can shake him down for money.
I mean, he's prey in a predator land.
Yes, yeah. And
he is trying to defuse the situation. He realized, his little joke didn't work. So, okay, so you're on the territory I violated. I'll if me being here offends you, I will move on and go about my business. But
apologize. Yep. And
he's trying to give him a way out as well. But
right, and again, he's doing the okay. This is a civil thing. We resolved this. I respect you. You respect me. And again, etiquette or whatever. And they're not having it. And then okay, well, if we're not going to be playing by those rules, we'll play by other rules.
Yeah. He's got a perception of how this should go, how people should interact with people, and how, from a social perspective, this should play out.
Right.
And then when he realizes that isn't happening,
it's not going his way.
Nope.
I'm going to play it their way. They got the fucking knife, so okay.
Yep.
Give you the case, but he won't give you the case.
Yeah. If you want to start violence, then I can respond with violence, and here we go.
Yeah.
I know, and they fucking run as well. They thought it was just easy pickings. Yeah. Turns out he's not so fucking easy to pick at. He's actually and he exposes them for who they are, fucking cowards.
Yeah.
Looking for the weak to prey on.
Yep.
I mean, they could still take this guy on even with.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure why he throws the baseball bat after him. I know it's an escalation. He goes from baseball bat to knife, which is more lethal.
Well, because they dropped the knife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he gets the knife in exchange for the baseball bat.
Now one homeboy might have a problem because I'm pretty sure he has a broken arm, but the other one, he could probably do something.
He just put some Robitussin on and it was fine.
Yeah. Well, we'll just go get guns.
But yeah, it's like it's a bat which was used as self-defense, and now he's taking the knife, which was
offensive weapon,
violence, which escalates him a little bit more there as well. And
drops the bat and takes the knife.
And he's wondering how the hell they do that. So he's obviously curious. He wants to see how that works.
Yeah. How's this butterfly knife work?
Yeah. And this is where Pendergrass has to hand in over his gun because he's retiring now. And I don't know if this newspaper clipping was a hint that of one of the incidences that caused him to sit behind the desks. Like maybe his partner one of his officers got killed.
There's a thing going on that on your last day, you can get shot. It's your last. You're playing basically. You're tempting fate by staying on in your last.
Yeah, because they're talking about no, he was actually going out to the car. He was already done, and he got shot. They're telling these stories about guys that stayed too long and got shot in the last 5 minutes. They were on the force.
Yeah, there's a certain catharsis in that scene, isn't it? When he beats up the gangsters, and you're like, yeah, fucking give it to him.
Yes.
Because as you say, he's been reasonable at that stage.
Well, there is Toxic. I think he probably wouldn't have done, but Pendergrass did assume that there was a chance he would have.
I remember reading something.
Bill very specifically says that they will all go and lay down in the dark.
Yeah. I remember reading something, and it was from the writers or the makers, and he said in it that there was no doubt that it would end in their deaths at that stage. So I think the problem I think by then is that he is well and truly broken. He is absolutely gone at that stage, and he just wants, as you say, that one perfect moment before it all ends. I mean, at the end, he goes to violence to killing him because he knows that they can at least live on on his insurance. So
his life has been meaningless, so his death might mean something.
Yeah, he's
again, it's the last responsible act.
Yes, he's completely gone by that stage. He's like, yep, society's won. I can't adapt to it. I can't live in it. I'm going to be dying. He knows he's going to be dying at that point. So kind of like,
well, he knows he's going to be in prison, and he talks about, because you have the little girl and it's like seeing her behind bars. I don't think so. Yeah. Right. And so, but he announces, that I'm past the point of no return. He explains it to his wife, what that means.
He does in great detail, doesn't he?
Right.
Because he's killed a guy, hasn't he?
He knows. He knows
not
now.
Enough fuel to get back or something.
There's no coming back from this. The other things you could point at and go, okay, these are justified, this and that, whatever. This one, you killed a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and this scene is where the plot really kicks in for Pendergrass here. This is where the Korean stoner tells him about the property damage, and that is and it's the shirt and the white tie that becomes a recurring thing with him as well, and
the baseball bat.
And the baseball bat. Of course, the baseball bat then gets tossed out of the evidence because his weapons switch up, they escalate even more, doesn't it?
Right, but the thing is that they talk about the because it's at first he's brought here because he's doing robbery, and then they realize no, he didn't steal anything.
Yes.
And then the Korean at the end goes, he stole my bat. What? Yeah. My baseball bat, and explains whatever, and then that comes up later because after the drive-by, they talk about
the behavior as well, isn't it? Because he pays for the soda,
right,
and he doesn't steal the food.
Right.
He's willing to pay for. He's willing, as you say, he's willing to play by the rules, but he's just got a very narrow perspective of what the rules are. So
he demands that you also play by the rules.
Yes,
and again, it's polite society, and if you're not going to be polite, okay, well then we'll be not polite.
And you can't adapt to that not happening.
Well, and again, I think the biggest thing is that he's been triggered to the point where he's gone to a zero tolerance policy of disrespect and impolite behavior.
And then these guys decide that they're going to shoot him.
Yeah, because these are obviously not fucking gangbangers, though they'll wanna be, because they're
worse shots.
It's like a reaction has caused it's like one action has caused a reaction now. I mean, they want.
Yeah, we're starting to have dominoes falling.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, given the some of the events that happened in the late 80s and 90s with drive-bys, this is pretty accurate. I mean, they'll shoot everybody but the person that they were trying to kill. You'll shoot kids laying in their beds and
exactly fucking tried to any proper gun training procedures or anything like that. Safety.
No, they're not. They're probably not licensed. Put it that way.
Oh yeah, no,
it's just spray and pray.
Off the black market, they are.
Yeah.
Or they fucking stole it off some other gangbanger. Who knows? It's Yeah,
I did think for what seems to be quite an amateur gang, they do seem to have quite a lot of hardware. I was like, I can understand them having like a couple of a gun each or something, but not an entire briefcase full of borderline, maybe not military quality, but certainly military style weaponry.
Yeah, but they're probably automatic.
Yeah, and I think spraying bullets.
I'm
is
not
the
American. I
biggest-
have absolutely no idea what you mean.
Okay, so a self-loading
fully automatic is when it's
rifle,
sprayed where bullets spray out. The semi-automatic way you can.
semi-automatic, you have to pull a trigger every time a bullet comes out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fully
right.
automatic is hold trigger, and it'll keep spraying until you run out of ammo or stop
which obviously
pulling the
adds to
trigger.
the recoil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
always
but I mean,
use
they're
the
shooting like
full
SMGs because they're like 9mm.
right, okay.
Yeah, but at the
I've no
moment
idea
he's
about
just
guns. If I ever
at the
get
moment, he's
over
just
there,
begging
Lord
for his.
Protect
He's,
to
yeah,
educate
at the moment, he's trying to talk his wife into.
Yeah, he's
trying
still
to
trying to
bring
get
back.
it. Yeah, he's finally managed to talk to her, hasn't he? He's
Yeah.
reached an evolution in that way that he's trying to put his case across now. He's
And on, he's like, I'm her dad. I need to be. She needs to see her dad at a birthday party, and she's very hesitant because she knows what a bad temper he has, and
and again, there's a certain relevance towards modern society these days because you do get a lot of guys that have been prevented from seeing their parents.
Yep.
yeah. I mean, even for no reason. Most of the time, it's for
Oh
no.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, and she tells the cop that the judge decided to make an example of him with the restraining order.
So of course, that's going to tip him over the edge a little bit more. I mean, you think he was bad now? Yeah, that's just made him worse.
Well, and again, you're taking away all of the things that give him meaning and position in life, right?
Well,
and again, there's nothing worse than taking your children.
They say that each person has elements. Like I think it's 3 elements to their life, which is their professional life, their home life, and then their casual, free time life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's lost 2 of these.
Well, and he doesn't have another life because he just sits there with his mom staring.
Well, I mean, we don't know what he does because he goes to work every day, even though he's not going to work. So
right, because he has to keep up appearances.
He sits somewhere and eats his lunch because she says he eats his lunch every day. Where's he eating his lunch? So
sitting on a park bench.
We speculate where he's gone, but we can probably speculate wherever he's gone. He's seeing society and he can't handle it, which is why he finally breaks.
Well, because he's out of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He no longer has his position, and so he's adrift, and he doesn't have the his family. He doesn't have acquaintances because again, the mom talks about where
he has
they
no
just sit there.
Structure. If he had a support structure, he might have made it out alive.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
If the judge had agreed, maybe get a bit of help, with his.
This is what my missus says. My missus, because she's a nurse. She. I mean, obviously, you've got the state of the medical system in America anyway for people who certainly haven't got a job like him. But she says, like, maybe if he'd taken his meds, he would have been okay, because you can get meds for those kind of behavioural disturbances.
Well, or again, if there would have been, if the judge wasn't, I'm just going to make an example of him, even though he has never been violent.
Yep.
In the relationship,
maybe referred him to. I don't know if referring him to anger management or counselling.
Yeah, but again, that you have a restraining order, you can't see your kid because the system betrays him in his mind. What the fuck? And frankly, looking at it objectively, this guy is not, again. There's no history of violence. He doesn't. She's like, well, I think he would have.
Yeah. He's got temper, but he's not.
Right, he's never gone.
Never hit her.
Right.
Never hit her.
Right, because I think early, in that stage or whatever, I don't think he would have because again, it violates his idea of what proper etiquette is.
Yeah, he wants things to be the way that
a certain way
they should be.
Yeah.
Well, effectively, he's been bullied out of the family unit by the authorities.
Right.
So more things.
Because he's lost all meaning as well. He's lost his job.
Yeah, there's no way you can't fight back against that.
Yeah, and this system that was supposed to be, I'm doing all the right things, and this thing, and I just keep getting screwed.
And as far as like he might never hurt his daughter, but I mean, there's nothing to say that he could inadvertently cause some harm through his actions.
Right, but again, you see his behavior with the other little girl. When he sees the blood on her hand and he's like, I didn't hurt you. I swear I didn't. And it's his blood.
He doesn't have the intent of hurting anybody. He didn't have the intent of hurting the Korean dude.
From the point of view of the authorities.
Retaliation, isn't it? His actions. It's mostly retaliations.
Yeah. It's just he's responding in the wrong way. Every single one of these situations, I just think, how would Pendergast have dealt with this? Because, you know, he is adjusted, he is choosing the path of least resistance, and he is kind of just accepted the situation. Oh my God.
Yeah, but again, I think you look at Prendergast, and the system hasn't betrayed him to the level that again, these are two guys that are on like different, you know, they're in the same race, but they're at different positions.
All right,
in
man,
it, right?
Yeah, no, keep going, Emperor.
Well, so I mean, you look at Prendergast, and yeah, he has had some losses, but he still has certain things. Defense doesn't have them, so defense is further along the slide than Prendergast is. So Prendergast still has the ability to kind of pull out and get a positive outcome. No. The defense does not.
There's nobody in this film that Foster speaks to at all on a semi-conversational, understanding each other kind of level until the end of the film when he speaks to Prendergast.
Mm-hmm.
And if he could have spoken to him a hell of a lot earlier, maybe he would have been okay. Whereas Prendergast has got his partner as a support structure, so he can talk to her.
Right. He still has a position in society. It may be less than what he wishes it is, but he still has a position, right? Yeah, he still has value. He can look around and understand his role in the world. Defense doesn't have that.
He's got more comfort. It's simply, I mean, like, defense is out of comfort. He's hot, he's bothered, and then every single situation that he walks into just reminds him what a shitty world he lives in. He's just
and then again, he's cast adrift. He has no anchor points, whereas Prendergast does.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
This is where this escalates as well, where it does lead into much more harsher actions as well.
Yes, it's an escalation. I mean, he's literally gone from a button.
He's just wounded the guy, hasn't he? He's just wounded the guy with the bullets now. But yeah, it's like these little stepping stones into the escalation of violence.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but he's mocking them.
Yeah, because they couldn't fucking aim. They missed.
Yeah, you couldn't shoot me. I mean, you hit everybody else, but you couldn't shoot me. And he takes the gun and he kind of fires it. And he goes, "Oh, I missed you too." And then he aims and he's like, "Bang! Okay, now you know how it's supposed to work."
And this is actually very good symbolism as well, because the briefcase is apparently supposed to symbolize his responsible side. The gym bag
now he is carrying the temptation of both sides. He is carrying his choice.
And it's when he comes across the homeless guy as well. That's when he shrugs away his responsibilities. Now just goes full on anarchy.
Because again, he's reminded of the fact that the way he's played the rules doesn't work. He's tried to do it, and this guy's just
he's maintained appearances, which is what that briefcase is, right? Yeah. It is a facade of what he used to be and his role in society and his position. And eventually he's like, okay, well, here you go. Enjoy that.
The post-shooting thing, I love the detached way that he talks to the ganger on the floor.
Yes.
Like you say, he's like, you missed. And he's like, I missed too. You know what I mean? He's
yeah.
And
then he aims and he shoots him and he goes, see, that's how you're supposed to do it. Right. Yeah, he's like explaining it to him and then bye.
Yeah. He's not like, I mean, like if somebody just tried to kill me, I'd be pretty damn angry. And for somebody who's meant to have a temper problem, he's not, you know what I mean? It's so weird the detached level he looks at, because he's probably not experienced that level of violence, and it's overwhelmed him, and he's like, huh.
Well, the other thing is though is that he's had a very bad conversation with his wife.
Yeah, so he's distracted. Yeah, maybe.
Right,
yeah.
and so then he sees these people. Yeah, they shoot all that. He has managed to survive it, which as a white collar worker you would expect not to. Be killed in a drive-by, right? And so it kind of fits his mental model. But then he comes around and he sees they managed to wreck and they fucked up. They're not all that competent. And it just comes over there and it's like, yeah, you're not even doing this right. What are you doing?
I can't work out how they've got a whole duffel bag full of weapons if they're that stupid.
Well, the gang member wannabes have probably got some fucking people who have my skin.
Yeah, probably. They're probably
it seems apparently in those areas it's dead easy to get a fucking gun.
Oh yeah,
they're probably not their guns. They might be carrying them for somebody or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I think it's theirs. I think they're definitely packing, because again they have to worry about other gangs. And but it's an assortment. It's kind of this random assortment. You know, you got a shotgun in there with like a Tech 9 and an Uzi and all that. So it's just random assortment of guns.
What's a Tech 9? Is that an assault rifle?
No, it's a little 9mm.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. I know I'm so uneducated in guns. That's it.
Yeah, it's like the first one that they pull out when they start pulling out guns. But what he shoots him with is a Uzi.
That seems to be the main go-to to be a gang member, a fucking Tech 9 or
because they're cheap as shit,
or something like that, or Mac 10.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was a Mac 10 myself, but
Mac 10 was actually a lot more expensive. Tech 9s were stupid cheap.
But the one Foster used was like a Uzi 9mm, wasn't it? Which was
that's what he shoots him with is the Uzi.
Yeah, I was going to say he uses. I recognise an Uzi at least. I know that's.
And of course, he also uses the
shotgun
45 long slide with the laser.
Yeah, that's it. 9.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that is literally my kind of education on.
Need a phased plasma rifle in the 40-pot range.
Just what you
like, only what you see here, pal.
This scene here is where we get a bit more insight into his work relationship with his boss, and obviously the boss doesn't really fucking care about him. He's brought him into the office because it's his last day. He has to do all these fucking questions, pretend to sympathise with him.
Yeah, he says, they make me say this.
Him back into working into the job because blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They make
we hate to lose a good cop and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, there's nothing genuine about him, and the thing is, he probably is a very competent cop, and he is. He does take a lot of risks, and you can sort of see why he does hate Pendergrass. Yeah, I'm one of these coppers that have risked my fucking neck out, and you've managed to make it through this whole career safely with no risk whatsoever. And
no. So again, he Pendergrass used to be beat cop and all that stuff, right? It was after his wife did the "you're a ghost" that he decided that I'm gonna sit on. When he was shot. In his career, and
he treats him like this though. But because I know that he was a capable cop that was out
right, but that's what he sees is that the guy got shot, and then all of a sudden, all he's doing is riding a desk. What is he, a coward?
Yeah, that's it. He's not. You get the thing. He's definitely not excelled himself. He's just gone by. He's just. Even if he's not happy about it, he's just, as I say, he's gone with the system. He's chosen the path of least resistance. He didn't turn around and go, like, that's not what, like the whole retirement thing.
I don't know.
What he wants. It's not what he wants. He doesn't want to go to Arizona. She wants to go to.
Arizona. So again, I don't think he's chosen the path of least resistance. Right. He's made hard choices, and it has cost him in his professional. Life and all that stuff, but he has decided that I am willing to sacrifice whatever in social status or whatever for my wife because, as he says, I love her.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I do see is the path of least resistance. Like, he doesn't want to upset.
No, I think he's making a lot of hard decisions because of that.
That's a hell of a lot more resistance
that well either because he doesn't seem to have realised that he lost a daughter years ago either. He's like saying, well. How
are the kids?
Yeah. But that's because he doesn't care. That's
Yeah. Well, and he's like, oh my god, idiots that give me this paperwork, right? Like they didn't update it in there, and he's just reading, whatever's on the paper.
Who is that actor? I recognise him.
He's been in loads. He's always playing these like dodgy fuckers, isn't he? He's,
yeah.
He's a good actor, though. He's a very good actor.
Raymond J. Barry. He's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet he smells nice as well. After
yeah.
Work out on the heavy bag, and then he just sticks a shirt on.
Yeah, just puts a shirt on.
90 degrees heat. You dirty bastard.
He does feel it wasn't the wound that got him sitting behind the desk either. I mean, because we don't really find out later why he did. It's
because of his wife. But yeah, it's like, is it because you were shot? No. He's not answering. He's not going to tell you why.
I actually
because again, it's private between him and his wife. He does tell his partner eventually.
Right. He's not interested in what their perception is. He's not the remotely bit interested in what their perception.
I was like, yeah, he's still married. Oh, right, yeah. He's just
it's like he's updating paperwork.
Yeah, but this, I mean, as I say, he's chosen to mollify and please his wife over having the career that he wants. So, I mean, it's a hard decision for him. I understand that, but at the same time, I think he's just like he doesn't because his wife would just be like, "Nah, I mean, she isn't this." She's like, "Oh, you're coming home. You're coming home. You're coming home." I think he's just from that perspective, I feel like
I can completely understand that, because it's kind of, he has to take what other people would consider to be the easy option.
Yes, that's what I say when I mean the path of least resistance.
Yeah,
right. But to him, that's actually very hard.
It's a very, very difficult thing to do. But for others who perceive him in a particular way, they are under the impression that he's taking the easy option.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea how he lives with her at all. Genuinely, I mean, that would drive me insane.
But I mean, again, to him, he puts up with it because, again, he loves her. He's willing to eat shit constantly. He's willing to leave the job he loves. He's willing to move to a place he doesn't want to live. But because that he's again she's the most important thing in his life. Everybody else can go pound sand in a variety of ways.
Well, after that scene, we're back onto Foster now. We can really see how the tensions are rising, because the city looks really overcrowded. There's everything's decaying. There's tons of homeless people, and you can see that all the construction work that's going on is affecting this as well, and it's just causing.
He's going to get on a bus, and just the people bumping against him, he freaks out.
Yeah, it's like being in a big crowded area and you're getting some kind of anxiety over it. Because
and again, this is what I get. This is the kind of sensory overload that I get. I'm terrible around people. If I'm in a busy pub with lots and lots of chatter, man, I'm on edge. And it would take like literally one person, let's just say, interrupting me or doing something that I would perceive as an attack, and I would lose it. So. Again, I can kind of sympathise with him in some ways, and obviously they make no illusions that he's got those kind of conditions or anything like that, and just he can't deal with it. And certainly some of the ways he deals with things makes me again feel that he's not in that kind of neurodiverse nature. But I can absolutely empathise with the heat, the stifling atmosphere, people on the tube. If I haven't got my headphones in, you're in trouble. Not only
that, but he's had multiple violent situations. His adrenaline is going through the roof, right? And so just people being near him, he's like, "Are you trying to grab my shit? Or are you doing this? What?" And he's like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out!" Right, and just walks away and runs right into this asshole construction worker.
But of course, the smart thing about it is that we do have a degree of empathy and sympathy for him, so we are very much on his side.
Yeah, no, I think so.
To a degree. Maybe not in his actions.
There is kind of a freedom watching him sort of like do the things where we don't do because we know it's just going to cause more aggro, more trouble.
Yeah, there is the line. We have our line,
and we have our common sense as well. We have our little courtesy.
My line's slightly different, but there's a catharsis in seeing him do these things and do the things that we can't do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, or that you could do, but those choices have consequences that can be problematic, right? And sometimes you do. Sometimes you're like, the hell with it, right? And again, that's also why this is in you identify with defense all the way through, because you're like, catch me on the wrong day with this shit.
Exactly. And
I would absolutely respond that way.
He's in some ways a multi-layered anti-hero.
Yes. And I think he's a mirror. He's a mirror that's held up to everybody. Yeah. And everybody should be able to identify in him in some way.
Yeah.
And this is where we actually found out a little bit that has kind of caused him to tip a little bit, like having his family taken away, everything.
Yeah, there's a little.
Judge said we should make an example of him.
Exposition dump here, isn't there? Really?
I know, but it gets us to know a little bit on their backstory and why things have just gone so sour between these two. And,
it's well done. And I love that little line. Is it feet or yards? And he's like, I don't know. I
don't know. It's up to the judge.
Yeah. And it's like,
I thought there was a standard thing. I don't know.
That's an example of there being no rule.
Right.
The thing is, there's a lot of women out there that will do that shit though, whether they're justified to or not. It's and they get away with it. They don't.
Well, I imagine that unfortunately is the mercy of the courts. I mean, maybe he could appeal, but it probably costs money and.
Well, again, though, but it wasn't her coming in with this extreme demand. It was the judge.
Yes, no,
that decides I'm going to set an example.
But if defense
again, it's authority working against him in a way that it doesn't normally do.
I
And
don't
it's
know
like,
lack
what
of
the hell?
control.
Would
It's
defense have had an
control.
option to maybe appeal or something like that?
Yeah, and it's the system betraying him again.
Yes, yeah.
And it's everything about control, isn't it? Everything that's happened to him is well beyond his control. There's nothing.
A loss of
that he was
control
in
of his
control
life.
Yeah.
And
But
the
he's
West is
spiraling out of
surrounded by
control
all
at
this
this very
chaos
point, isn't he?
going
You know,
on. The
and
background.
as the Emperor says, he's about to throw away the facade of the professionalism, which is the briefcase,
Yeah,
and embrace chaos.
in this scene
He's
as well.
going to leave order behind at this point.
Yeah, because he's looking at this playground there, reminding him of good times with his daughter, and then this fucking arsehole comes up. And these are the guys we're supposed to feel a little bit sorry for, but this guy is trying to con him, though. He's trying to con him.
No. I've been what I would call aggressively begged.
Oh yeah.
And this guy would have been. I mean, I would have hit him.
Well, now the interesting thing again is so this is a moment. So you have a social dynamic here where the normal thing that the beggar would expect is that you just hand over the money just to make the nuisance go away, right?
Yeah.
And defense isn't having it. And then
he hasn't got any.
you're right. Well, but he's like immediately he's like, wait, you drove here. Where's your driver's license?
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I love
What?
the way he picks him apart. Yeah.
Right, because again, and this is pushback. He's not so he starts getting more aggressive. Defense starts getting more aggressive. Defense has it's a violation to come and harass in the first place. But from the panhandler's kind of point of view, it's a violation of etiquette to not just pay him to make the nuisance go away.
But the homeless guy pulls he's like, oh, I was a veteran. And
Yeah.
He's like, what were you?
Vietnam. He's like, what are you, 5?
You're like, yeah, exactly.
And then he's like, man, I haven't eaten in a week, and he has a sandwich in his hand. Right?
Yeah,
he just gets so flustered because he's not used to having pushback.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And we all know about paying for nuisances to go away. For example,
Yeah, you're just encouraging.
YouTube paying YouTube in order not to have adverts.
Yeah.
It's like, make that nuisance go away, but pay us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you know that Netflix that you used to watch without commercials? Now you have to pay to have that not happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like subscribe. Like fucking Netflix is now charging people and having adverts depending on the fucking tiers.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Amazon is the same way, and
that's because the streaming model bust.
Because it was always a bit bullshit.
We're
just going to reinvent cable TV, but poorly.
Well,
yeah.
I will, David.
I'll
do the Warriors and Young Frankenstein one day. I'll put it on my list because I'm always looking.
And hang on, I've never seen the Warriors.
I've seen it once all the way
I've
through.
never actually seen.
I don't know why I haven't watched it again since. I need to watch it again.
It has a great soundtrack.
Great soundtrack. You're right.
Yeah.
Terrible film.
78, maybe.
It's an awful film.
What are you talking about? The baseball furies are they're real? Man, what are you talking about?
I've seen scenes from it, so I've seen with the fingers in the bottles, can the Warriors come out and play stuff like that? But I've never seen the whole film all the way through. I don't actually know what the story is.
It's definitely a rite of passage movie. That it's I saw that when I was 14 or 15.
I just feel like it's one of those seminal movies that I just need to see, and I will.
Oh yeah, and again, it's the what is the world like with violence, where that there aren't really rules, and
I certainly got a feeling of a kind of an anarchical kind of warfare kind of vibe behind it. Like, again, outside of the system, not an authority, and you've got these two gangs just, constantly fighting. But I've never actually seen the full film. Never seen it.
Nix, I remember when we used to download stuff off of Usenet, and it was real hard to insert commercials then.
Azarias.
Yeah. FTP sites.
What have you done, David Wilson? You got us off track.
Be quiet,
Dave. We'll do that, and we'll probably do a discussion on that in a bit more detail. So I'll put it on the list after I do this. But like you said, this guy is really looking for a quick fucking handout, and he's just not playing into his fucking hand, really, isn't he?
Yeah, and they're both reacting because neither one of them are playing by the rules.
Yeah,
and so the homeless guy gets more aggressive.
So
right.
he does cave, but not in the way he expects. He just throws away his briefcase because he's always there.
Yeah.
He's kind of
you got 2 bags, I got none. What the hell? You got give me 1. That's fair. And he goes, okay, have that one.
Yeah,
it's just a fucking sandwich.
He says it's a very important line. I don't need it. I don't need this because I have this, and this is power, and this is a representation of what I was.
I'm giving away the facade.
Exactly, I'm giving away the facade, and I'm embracing the chaos. The order's going, and I've got this, so I don't need this. And
plus there's nothing significant in the briefcase like
his
work. The briefcase used to carry his work, but he hasn't got work anymore now.
But the thing is that it's still it was still representative of him and his position in society.
I think,
and meaning, right? But that time has passed.
Now he's got the bag with the guns. He's got power. He doesn't need that fucking piece of shit.
But he's also
been going somewhere with that briefcase and eating lunch. We never find out where, but he's still been maintaining that facade.
But it's also he's discarded it. He's abandoned it because he has gone past that point of no return. He's there now. He's in his kind of in his groove.
Yeah.
But I think it also begs the question. Is this day the only day that he has actually been like this? Perhaps to this extent, obviously. But it does kind of beg the question. What has he previously been guilty of? What has he done before?
I don't think he's done anything because look at the awkwardness that he has.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not prepared for any of it.
Yeah,
he's not used to it. He can't handle it. It doesn't look like he's in. I think he's literally been getting in his car every day, and he's maybe even been driving to his work.
Yeah,
and he can't get in, but he's parked up outside. And
That's undoubtedly,
And
he's
he's going to be adjacent to it because that still gives him some credibility, meaning social position to him.
Yeah, plus he's been falling into a deeper depression as well, and because that's always one of the things that leads you as well when shit like
this. As I say, he's lost all his support structures. Even if you haven't got family, you've got your work to focus on. Right? He hasn't got his work to focus on. So what has he got? Is he going to sit with his mum all day? He can't.
Yeah, he has no role in society.
Exactly, he's completely ostracized from society.
But it is likely that he could have done something not unlike this, but certainly not to this scale, not to this level. Something as a build-up towards this.
You think that he had escalations before?
Yeah, I think it's when you see the extremes to which he does actually go in this, it does kind of make you wonder. It certainly makes me wonder, if there was anything that he had done prior to this that was part of the escalation towards this.
I think that mentally, because the discussion with the mom, he talks. She says he stares at me, and I think he wishes I was dead.
Yeah.
Right, and that he just has this blank look on his face. So I think I don't know that he's actually acted out, but I think mentally.
I was going to say, I don't think he's actually done anything. I think he's basically been looking out of his car wherever he sits eating his lunch, and he's just seen all of this in front of him because we don't know where he's gone. We don't know exactly what
he's obviously been bottling up a lot of emotions as well. And now
mentally, I think he's been degrading for quite some time
to release it all.
And that's why I say,
how long had he been unemployed prior to all this?
I think it's 6 months.
It's a few months, isn't it? It's just 6 months.
I mean, that's probably enough to send you round the bend anyway.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. If you haven't got anything else, if you've got other things, then you're fine. If you're unemployed, but you've got your family and you've got some kind of structure, then that's absolutely fine.
But he has no meaning.
He has no structure, no
purpose
meaning.
To any part of his day has no purpose. So then I guess that inciting incident was sitting in the car and just everything culminated.
I think he literally, as I say, it's not like the Punisher. It's not. He's had one really bad.
No, it's the accumulation of.
It's the accumulation of many.
He's slowly building up.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's just reached breaking point. As I say, I emphasize with the guy so much. I really do because
well, and again, I think everybody.
That's the idea. Yeah, you're meant to, aren't you?
Yeah, that you can always. Everybody can see themselves in defense.
Yeah. Little fun bit of trivia before we get back into the film. Iron Maiden did a song based on this film.
Yeah.
Called "Man on the Edge."
Yeah, and then Rammstein did a cover for one of their albums where they were all dressed like defense.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that one. Rammstein is still one of the best bands I've ever seen live in my entire life.
Oh yeah, they put on a hell of a live.
I nearly got my eyebrows singed off.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is where the plot really escalates more for Pendergrass as well, because now he doesn't think it's anything significant, but then when she starts she's obviously trying to be evasive. She's not telling them everything. She says it's a white guy, and that's it. And
Can anybody agree with me?
Oh yeah, she mentions a baseball bat as well.
Yeah, and he's like, "Wait, what? What did she say? The baseball bat?"
He attacked her boyfriend, didn't he? So that's when it starts to spark at him. A white guy with a baseball bat. So, and he has to be sure as well. So he bursts into the interrogation room and asks, "Did he wear a white shirt and tie?"
Yeah, he looked like you, except he was taller and he had hair.
Yeah, she gives him that look as well, doesn't she? Like, how did you know he had a white shirt and tie?
Yeah,
I know.
But that's the other thing is that how isolated defense is. He's probably the only guy in that region with a white shirt and tie.
Exactly.
You know, it's not
well, there's one other.
He's looking a little bit more better out. He actually looks like he's working in an office, doesn't he? And everyone's got these shirts with the fucking tie.
Do what, Fandad?
What'd you say, Fandad?
I was going to say, could anyone agree with me? I thought the cops on this movie were absolute morons. That's something else that was
really they are a little bit, yeah.
Well, I think the biggest thing is they don't take him seriously because he's not a serious cop to them.
Yeah.
That's again, these are the choices that he's had to like carry. Nobody takes him seriously. He's just
a bit younger as well, so they probably never knew him when he was a street cop or anything.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and you're right. There's this kind of patronising nature that they have towards him, this patronising attitude, and part of that is almost certainly his age.
Well, it's his last day too.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you worried about this? What are you doing? Oh, you're going to have one big last case. You've been sitting on ass for 3 years, and now suddenly this is going to be a big thing. Get out of our way. We got work to do. We're real cops.
They think he's trying to chase some kind of one last bit of glory.
Right. Go out with a bang.
Drive probably on an infrequent event in that area, I would guess.
It'd be a fairly frequent event in a lot of those areas.
It's a very good scene. But it does establish that he is still a competent cop. He can still put.
His old brain's still going, definitely.
Yeah. So he may have been sat behind the desk for years, but he's not lost his. He's
still a cop.
Ability to deduct.
Yeah.
So he knows that he's in gangland, and this way comes up to one of the.
That's not foreshadowing.
Really funny scene as well. It's a really funny scene. It always makes me laugh as well. The way he acts with the clerks here, like this lass as well.
She couldn't keep a straight face during the filming of it.
Apparently
Pendergast,
her ass off.
Pendergast doesn't want to retire. He doesn't want to go to Arizona, so he's clinging on to those last vestiges of his career.
Well, the other thing is that he does his job.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Because again, that's the one thing. Again, it's what is your role in society? What are the things that he still has that, and he takes his job seriously, even if he's just working the desk. Right. He's not blowing stuff off and doing that. And when he sees something, he's like, "Oh, I see this." But the problem is that he's built up this reputation of just being, pencil pusher who's afraid to go out and be a real cop, and everybody, there's no respect.
And then you've got Rick and Sheila.
Yeah, I know. It's like, why am I calling you?
Why am I calling you that?
I know. It's like, and she's like,
you can call me Ms. Whatever the hell it is. Yeah.
I know. It's like, shut up.
social acceptance, isn't it? That's why they've got their name badges on, because you're meant to, do you know what I mean? So, and he's just coming up in this face of corporate obstinance, and he's just like, nope. Because the guy's basically telling him to go fuck himself with a smile on his face. So, again, it's rudeness that he doesn't like.
The condescension and
I could have just said, "Listen, I'm sorry, but we can't just serve breakfast now. It's our rules. It's our policy. I'm sorry, but if you like, we can we'll get you a nice lunch. But if not, there might be a good breakfast place somewhere else you can go to. Because that's what we used to do. If we had customers at my shop that couldn't find what they were needing, then there's another shop over there. Maybe have a look and hope they might have it in. Just a little bit of politeness. But
it's the apathy, isn't it? It's the complete and utter apathy.
Yeah, it's the fake politeness, right? The fake etiquette.
Exactly.
The insincerity just pisses him right the fuck off.
Yes, fake people selling fake food.
Yeah, and there's a condescension to it, and he's like, "I'm a grown ass man. What the hell are you doing?"
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and with those painted on smiles, and
also he's got that structure in place of the customer is always right.
Right.
And he's kind of got the power to remand them that as well.
Yeah. It's like, allow me to assert that rule for you.
No, but it's only after
that woman and she just froze up.
He suddenly sees the look on people's faces when they see him. He starts to think, okay, I'll calm down. I'll go for the lunch. You know, I mean, you know. And it's just
again, he has a mistake with the gun, and that again, this is not him. He's not looking for fights. He's not looking to initiate the violence.
He's not looking to be feared. He just wants things to go how it should
be. Right, how it should be. And then he accidentally shoots off, and then he realizes, okay, that's a problem, right? I have violated social rules and etiquette, and so I'm apologizing, and I want everybody to calm down. No, it's fine. Just sit down and eat your meal. You know, I'll be here and then gone. You know, and then he decides he's going to work with Sheila and Rick. You know?
Yeah.
He needs to see himself as a reasonable person, and when you let off a gun in a restaurant, you're no longer the reasonable person. So he needs to reestablish that.
Right, and again, let everybody calm down. It's fine. I'm not one of the bad guys. I'm with you.
Yeah, and it's very much that you know, you lose your temper, you lose the argument ethos as well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy through repeat. I did see in the biography that he was a vet, though, but the way the film goes about, I don't think he was. I think
it never really mentions it.
He definitely worked in you know,
he worked in the defense industry.
Yeah. If he did serve in the military, it was in a very non-combat role.
Because he's very uncomfortable with weapons.
Yeah, exactly. Like an engineer or something like that.
He does not look like he's been handling weapons like he was born with them.
And again, I don't know for sure, but surely to be in the army in any capacity, you have to have gone through weapons training.
Yeah, you have to qualify in the rifle range.
Yeah, and he doesn't have good discipline on the Tech 9 either, because, like you said, it's the slight touch and it fucking goes off.
Yeah, and it's like, what's your finger doing inside that? You know, sitting on that trigger.
Yeah, it's not good trigger discipline, is it?
No.
So, you know.
But I like the little Dutch angle as well, because that always makes you feel like there's something off in this room, and
it's him.
Yeah. And you're seeing the customer's eyes through. It's the customer looking at Foster right now, and we're seeing how they view him.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all slightly sort of off kilter, isn't he? He's the center of all the chaos that's going on at the moment.
Well, and this is there was a I think it was 83, something like that. There was a gunman that took over a restaurant, Libby's, and ended up killing a bunch of people in that. So it's kind of this callback to that. So everybody's like, are we all going to get shot in here? And nobody.
Glad that he doesn't kill anyone, though. I'm glad that he just shits them up a little bit, and that's it.
Yeah, it's weird. He's not a violent man. I mean,
no, he's not. He's not looking to initiate violence.
He's really not. He's got a temper on him. That's been made.
He responds to other behaviors, but he's not the one. He's not looking for a fight. He's not. But if you bring one to him, he's ready for it today.
He's never the instigator. He sees himself as being completely reasonable.
Right.
But it's still a funny scene as well. It's the way he says,
it is.
The woman jokes up and is like, I don't think she likes the special sauce.
Yeah.
It was a joke. You know, it does bring a very good dark laugh. And
Michael Douglas said this is his best role, and I tend to.
I
tend to.
He is just eating this fucking movie up, and he plays it dead straight.
Well, and I think that's again, it's the. I did something. I committed a social faux pas. How do most people deal with that? With humor.
Yes,
I know.
And so that's what he's trying to do. Again, the psychology of all of these scenes makes sense. They're real people.
Because they're trying to
break the ice, but it's too late. You mean, how the fuck can you break the ice after accidentally firing a gun into a cigar and then threatening people unless they give you a fucking breakfast?
And the thing is, that's something that we can't identify with as people who've never gone into but one thing we can all identify with is receiving a burger that looks nothing.
Yeah, it looks like Kentucky Fried Dog shit. Yeah.
So that just puts us straight back into his shoes.
I love who answers his question.
Yes, it's great.
The child, because the child, again, the child doesn't understand the social rules as well. He doesn't recognize this guy is actually, he's just crazy. Everybody else is like, he's crazy, right? Yeah. Because he's so broken social taboos.
Everyone's so like brainwashed now into thinking that stuff like that is crazy, but it kind of is. But
the thing is, what's happened is Foster has now gone from being completely crazy, unreasonable, to being back to being reasonable. From the child's perspective, the threat's gone. Now all the adults know what's going on. They know, what he's thinking. They know why he's doing what he's doing. But the kid's just like, oh, he's being nice now, so I can just answer his question.
Yeah, the thing is that so everybody else in there are still playing by. I mean, they are still in society.
Society.
He is outside of it, and the child isn't really in it yet because
he's
a child,
not conformed like everyone else has yet. He's not,
and so the two people that are outside society are able to connect, where everybody else is operating by the social rules that they know.
Yeah, they're kind of a little bit too more accepting of everything. Everything that's thrust in front of them, they're accepting of that. But of course, the kid.
And Foster's accepting of them as well. He's never angry with a child in this entire film.
Oh yeah, because even when he pulls up the construction work, is
the kid is the one showing him how to shoot the.
And he's asking about the movie and everything. He's not wound up. He's not angry or annoyed or anything like that, because he understands that those kids are not part of the society that he's railing against. So,
and again, he's like, how do you know this? I saw it in the movie. Oh, okay.
That's so funny. He builds missiles. He's got no idea how to fire a bazooka, and that also reminded me of Beverly Hill Cop 2.
Yeah, that's actually a reference. For where the kid would have actually seen it.
Yes, probably, actually. Yeah.
And this scene is also where we see that he's justifying his wife's actions a little bit more. Like he's trying to be understanding to his wife and why she is the way she is, and she's just telling him, no, you need to stop fucking doing this, and you obviously do not want to retire. If you're going to retire, do it because you feel you need to, not because your wife is telling you to.
Yeah, this is the partner knows. I mean, certainly knows his wife and knows some of it, but again, the Prendergast comes from. This is an era of men where you keep certain things to yourself. You don't run around and, oh my God, and my life is so terrible, right? This is private. This is between us, but when he's trying to explain that, no, you're misunderstanding some of this, right? I understand from the information you have about my wife and the relationship and all that, right? I appreciate what you're saying, but you're wrong because you misunderstand my motives, and he is correcting her in a way, right? That you just, again, at the end of the day, is because I love her. Right. But he goes into more detail about why she is the way she is and why he feels beholden to her, and that the partner kind of is like, okay, yeah. I mean, she may not agree with it, but she understands why he's doing that, and that he's not moving off of that hill.
And it does give us more chance to get to know them as together. And this is where we found out they were partners in the past as well, because the waitress is like, "Oh, you're partners again," and nah, it's not that. No, he's still a desk jockey, and she's still working with that fucking asshole in the circle.
Yeah.
They do have good chemistry together, these two. They really do. I mean, he always comes across as a bit of a father figure to her as well, and she's kind of more of a headstrong daughter who's trying to help him out.
Yeah, but you understand that they really have a deep relationship. They trust each other. He is opening up to her in a way that he would not open up to anybody else. Yeah. There's a real connection.
Yeah, and even when he turned into a desk, even when he started doing the desk job, she still tried to keep that connection to him, because she's probably been on a lot of great stakeouts with this guy, and he's always made the time passing bearable. It's.
Yeah, and he's covered for her, and she's covered for him, in violent situations, and so I mean, there's a certainly, like police officers, they spend more time with each other as partners than they do with their wives and family.
The kind of bond that they must be second to none.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like the only thing that would be more is like wartime people that are in war.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think she's too happy with their situation as well, because she's got this arsehole for a partner that she has to put up with 24/7. And I don't know the name of this actor though, but he fucking cracks me up. He is such an unbearable punch.
He's in a number of like 80s and 90s movies, and he's always a douchebag.
Yeah, I always quote this scene with my mates, and we always have a good laugh. It's like, hey, some asshole stuck up a burger bar because they wouldn't serving breakfast. I only paid for it and left. It cracks me up every fucking time. But it's also it also gives a good little another clue to who Pendergrass is dealing with now as well, because now it looks like he's escalating even more, and he's going to have to really get on the fucking ball on this guy.
Yeah, and there again, it's like, oh, you're trying to crack a big one before you go to the desert, right? Again, that guy's just dismissing him.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, a lot of these coppers that are out on the street, they all look young, so they obviously have not known him as the street cop he used to be.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just seen him as this desk jockey who's
Or again, some of the older ones will just think he was a coward because, oh, he got shot, and then that's the end of it, and you're just, sitting on ass.
That's the thing. They're all smart in real life, though. Would the older cops think that in real life, or would they be a bit more understandable?
No. There's a. I mean, if you suddenly, I don't want to go out and take the risks or whatever. Yeah, there's a. Yeah. I mean, there's a definite attitude that'll get.
Because you're still pulling the same money as them, but you're not.
Yeah, but you're not taking the risk.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, it's also that kind of.
Here's my man.
The younger cops, because everybody who's young thinks they know everything.
Yeah.
And regardless of the lack of experience that they have.
Yeah, I remember when I was young and knew everything, and then I got older and realized I didn't know shit.
Yeah.
This is also good. This is one of the more memorable scenes. I'm not economically viable.
I love not economically viable.
I know the actor as well. He's very good. He's been in loads. He was the restroom guy in fucking Coming to America. He was one of the terrorists in Die Hard 2. He's in Daredevil as well. He was a reporter, wasn't he?
Oh,
but
yeah.
It also shows that William Foster is seeing more and more that people who have gone by the rules are getting fucked by the system.
And there's a couple of real parallels between him and not economically viable.
Yeah, especially, and it's in this scene where he's trying to get something nice for his daughter, even though he's not.
Doesn't he even say he's not economically viable at some point when he's talking about his job and why he was let go?
No. So because that was the overeducated or whatever. But this guy, he later says, "I guess I wasn't economically viable," when he's trying to describe it. But yeah, not economically viable. So he is wearing the same. Clothes
but he can't
as defense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right. And
same tie as well, same pattern tie, everything.
Yeah, everything. The other thing is, this guy says, "I've been banking here for 7 years," and then they refuse me. Defense was fired after working for 7 years with his boss. Right, so these are again. This is
parallels.
Yeah, and it's choices, right?
It's like people in the system are actually trying to take him away as well. All he wanted was a little bit of just something to help him, the system to help him out, since he's been, doing what they've told him to do all these years to conform or whatever.
Yeah, and again, he has stepped out of what people normally. Oh, the bank says no. Well, okay, that's what you do. No. He's out there protesting.
Yeah.
He has stepped out. He has gone, beyond what normal society does. He's chosen a different path.
He's probably been agreeable, but now the time has come to be a bit disagreeable in order to make them listen. Because
right, and again, but he's not getting violent or anything like that. He's wanting to be heard, and the cops show up and put him away. And then again, it's who's the one person he says, "Remember me."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because he sees something in him as well.
And Michael Douglas nods his head like, "Yeah, I will."
And look, I think I saw 2 police cops in this scene as well. It's like 2.
Yeah, because they
sorry, 2 police cars. I know there's 2 cops, but
there's a second car. I just thought there was the one where they put. Oh yeah, there's a second patrol. Yeah, because it's backup.
This one guy and all. It's
yeah, who has a sign.
Yeah, he's not actually doing anything, is he? He's just,
Yeah.
You couldn't even really get him for
love this scene. Yeah, don't forget me.
It is.
Yeah, don't forget, yeah. But then again, this is just another.
Hits the feels. This
yes. And Michael Douglas, yeah.
Michael Douglas is again being reminded that the system is corrupt. It will betray you.
Well, and again, he's like, okay, here's another guy that is saying this isn't right, and that don't forget me. I won't. He just that nod. Yep.
And that's when he puts his the birthday present in the bag of guns.
Yep.
It's like he's going to use the chaos to get him there. And
yeah. No, by the way, that's a tie-in with Prendergast. The Globe plays "London Bridge is Falling Down." That's what Prendergast had to sing to his wife.
Ever establishing they're the flip side of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously she's trying to get prepared. And I love this little flash where the copper pops up. She almost sees Foster, but no, it's just a police officer with a pair of glasses and almost similar haircut.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's rang again.
And this guy looks like a porn actor.
Oh, yeah, definitely he does. He probably has. I probably went back into it. Oh, no.
Yeah. He had to take a break from his porn acting to be in this movie.
Yeah. But obviously, they can't do anything right now, so all they can do is come back later if he tries anything again. And
yeah,
obviously,
and then again, this is the rudeness because he would not have been on that phone for a long time.
No,
the guy's just being an arsehole.
Oh, and thank God,
and
this is
escalating now, isn't he? He's not trying to be reasonable or anything. He's not caring. He just blasts the phone.
Well, again, it's a guy who he's being rude.
Yep, absolutely.
Right, but go back one.
All right.
Okay, see that in the background?
Oh yeah. Sir
Yep.
Mix-a-Lot.
Yep, that was actually part of the publicity stuff of Sir Mix-a-Lot's tour for Baby Got Back. So you have this huge ass in the background.
I like huge asses.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
Yeah, did the gig go to plan, or did that get burnt down with everything else in LA during that time?
No, it was after.
Yeah.
That rude.
Well, I mean, look, if you're riding in LA and you see a big ass is like Sir Mix-a-Lot, no, nobody's touching this. This is fine.
But yeah, like this is the scene where he's just not giving a fuck now. It's just escalating more and more.
Well, again though, but he doesn't commit violence against the guy.
I know. He just
right. He's like, oh, you're going to be a douchebag? Well, call on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? What'll he do? He'll fuck up the very thing that the guy wants.
Right.
So yeah. What's it say? The Green Goblin said in Spider-Man, "The heart, get the heart."
Oh God, Mr. Peepers.
Yeah, she's fucking. This is almost a little bit farcical as well because he's got two phones now and he's trying to talk to his partner about finding out if the guy who robbed the fucking Whammy Burger had a white shirt and tie while still trying to calm his wife down a bit as well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does sort of lend a little bit of humour as well, just to sort of lighten up the intensity of the. It's a pretty dark movie and you need these lighter moments. And Pendergast is like we said earlier, Pendergast is more of the less extreme side, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, but the thing is you see Pendergast trying to balance he is dealing with a violent person who has committed multiple assaults. Meanwhile, he's having to balance his wife, who's talking about Mr. Peepers scratched the shit out of her, and she's bleeding to death because the cat scratched her. And he's constantly balancing this thing, right? And so it kind of shows the tension that Prendergast is under, right? That he's got these two choices. He can either continue to pacify his neurotic wife, or he can do his job, and he keeps trying to do both. But at some point, he has to make a choice. Yeah,
because even though he's retiring, he's still dedicated, isn't he? Still through, and I know.
He's a man, you're gonna deliver, this is my job. I'm gonna do it until it's done.
I know, it's bad enough that I can't be a street cop risking
it's about principles, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he has made a rod for his own back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it really gets fucking dark now because he comes across this nut job.
I love the complaint department.
I love the actor though. The actor who plays him is good. He's been in Laws Apocalypse Now, 21 Jump.
Yeah. Go back and check the complaint department.
It's a grenade, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a grenade with the number ones on the pin. Yeah.
Like I said, there's a dark sense of humor to this movie. You can't.
Oh yeah.
Also a reality to it too, and
yeah. I mean, everybody knows an asshole like that. Maybe not a full-on neo-Nazi that has Zyklon B in his back, but just the asshole, that runs a shop, and you're like, yeah, okay. Occasionally you have to go buy something there, and you tolerate him, but you'd really rather punch him in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, it's funny how the guy who is a genuine fucking arsehole is actually real kind to him at first.
Yeah, because we're on the same team.
Yeah, that's it. He thinks he's
Nick
found a
Season
kindred spirit.
extremist,
Yeah, you're acting out what he fantasizes doing.
And this is where his morality really kicks
Oh, this
in
is where
as well.
it absolutely goes off the cliff.
Yeah.
He sees
Yeah, that's
this
the real
scum.
escalation. This scene.
Yeah.
But you can see he's got
Absolutely.
this transmitter as well. He's always listening into cops, and
Which is
this
a
is
really
how
clever
he-
bit of writing, actually, that I really like, because it's like, how would you find out about this guy who's gone and
Right, I've been listening to his annex the whole way.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a good bit of writing. Now I liked it.
But this is also, I think, part of his redemption arc as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that I'm not like you at all.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, he's disgusted by this guy.
He is absolutely. He is absolutely repelled by this guy.
And it starts out again with this guy being rude.
Oh, Freddie Forrest is the actor, and he died only last year. Oh,
Damn.
man, rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I didn't
I
want to
mean,
be
Michael Douglas, he's still got it.
Sorry, Shandad.
Do it.
No, I'm just going to say he's still got his moral compass, even though he's done questionable things.
Yeah, I mean, this is really part of his redemption.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see all this stuff that's been going on thus far, and obviously we're quite repulsed by a lot of the violence that he's committed, even though it's not necessarily his fault. Although we're cheering him on, we still. You know, we still have that line that we know that we wouldn't cross. That there is a line that is for all intents and purposes uncrossable.
Well, this is almost where he becomes a vigilante. He starts becoming the overt force.
But the trigger is running into something that the most evil person that he has encountered.
Yeah, no, this is again, it's another reminder to him of how absolutely repugnant society and humans can be. So he dons this military outfit after this. You know, he loses the shirt and tie, dons the military outfit, and becomes an overt force.
Well, he knows there's no coming back.
Yeah, no, this is it. This is
it's simple,
right. But the thing is
that his conformity to society. But he's killed this guy. He's he's already done a lot. He's lose the fucking conformity now. I am in the fatigues. I am.
Yeah, there's no coming back, and so here it is. I'm going to go and see my daughter and be at the birthday. But the violence that happens here is, again, he runs into the most repugnant person he could, and this guy is like, "You're like me," and he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Again, I'm the reasonable guy.
This guy's obviously wants to start some kind of fucking rebellion or movement, and no one's listening to him. But now he's seen a guy who he thinks this could be one of the guys who could give me some kind of fucking meaning in my life, and
this is his power fantasy, right? Defense is this guy's fantasy. He wishes that he could do all these things, but he won't.
He admires him up until the point where he says, "I'm nothing like you." Like there's literal fan worship going on. Fan worship until the point he says, "I'm nothing like you," and then he's like, "You're another one of those."
Yeah. What was that, Richopoulos?
The point where I think this is now where we get things really put into perspective. Now we really know that everybody else prior is not necessarily the bad guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though they might have pissed him off, but it's up until this point where we realize, you know, this is the ultimate. This is the guy that we should be rejoicing in his death.
Yeah.
And this is where he has the ultimate level of violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is where he meets the dregs of society, the absolute dregs. Like the gangers, they're arseholes, whatever, but they were just shaking him down, kind of thing. This guy is racist, homophobic. He is all the things.
Everything.
On top of that, he is also looking to actively commit violence and form this group and all that kind of stuff. He is, to defense, who has been building things to protect people, and probably still thinks that to a point he is protecting the way that things should be.
Yeah, he still thinks he's a member of society.
Yes, this guy is his.
This guy is the antithesis of that.
The antithesis, yes, exactly. He's the antithesis of it. So yeah, absolutely. This is the point where he sees it as bad as it can possibly get. And yeah, I mean, this guy is a grade A cunt. Let's face it. You know,
Yeah.
He's a poser as well. He's probably never been in the fucking army, or
oh no,
he probably
totally,
might have learned to shoot a few guns, but he's a
Oh, he might have, but he was probably in the rear with the gear. He's not. Yeah, this is a guy that hasn't actually seen combat. You know,
because you see the way he draws his gun like a cowboy. He's like, he's probably putting on a fucking show. He's fronting.
you know, he's he's got this collection. He's an enthusiast. He views it vicariously. He wishes he could be that person. And as you say, he sees in Foster a way to realize that dream.
And I think as well, he's telling Michael Douglas, "Oh, you're just like me. You know, we can be buddies or whatever, and do all this horrible."
Yeah,
shit.
you're like my hero.
Yeah, it's hero worship. Yeah, exactly.
Michael Douglas is like, I'm absolutely fucking nothing like you.
Yeah, you disgust me.
You're
he hates it.
Disgusting. I'm trying to
Because
just
he wasn't going out of his way to cause violence. He just needed people just gave him a reason to really.
Well, not only that, but he is the epitome of the what America was in his mind, right? And that you have this guy that's worshiping the Nazis and celebrating the fact that he has a can of Zyklon B that was used. They used this, right? And he's just like, you disgust me. I mean, what are you talking about? That was our enemy. Right, as an American, that's how I would. That was our enemy, but this guy is.
It's like America, home of the free, land of the brave, and then this is just like the opposite of that, isn't it? It's just
Yeah, and everything that he's gone through up until this point also has been, it's been incidental. It's been reactionary.
Yeah, self-defense in many ways that he would view it.
Yeah,
and I mean, this is self-defense, to be honest.
It reinforces the fact that Michael Douglas has said, "I'm not the fucking bad guy here. I'm trying to stand up for the common man."
Yeah, I am a part of society. I have just decided I'm not putting up with the assholes and the people that take advantage, that break the rules.
Yeah,
the people he's bloody crossed are the people who the people he attacked, he had very reason to, and it wasn't a race thing or a religion thing like this guy is either. I mean, he's pretty fucking liberal when it comes to inflicting violence. He's kind of, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, in many ways, the people that he has been engaged with, have asked for it. I mean, they've come up and they violated rules, right? And of social mores and standards that you have, and he's not having it.
Yeah. And again, when it comes to a societal, socially acceptable way to speak to somebody, this dude is totally not doing it. He's like, what was it? He was saying, "Oh, don't we call you police officer S or something?"
S. Shouldn't be an officer S, like an actress.
Yeah. Oh, is that? I thought he was going like essay, like Spanish.
No, it's S, like you should be like female, or feminine.
Okay.
Yeah, and even when she says, they see a police officer as a police officer, it's like, "Oh well, thanks for your time, officer."
Yes. Yeah.
Right, my bad. I thought he was saying essay, as in
No, not like homeboy. Yeah.
Right, he's just being like.
Yes, he's being misogynist.
I don't like the fact William Foster is a little bit suspicious of him as well. He's like, why is this guy
already what he's seen, he's repulsed, but he's like, I've got to show you something. He's like, well, I guess. But this guy is he's just one of those.
It's disturbing. Look at this, man. I mean, fucking Jesus Christ.
I knew a guy.
Yeah, and then this. Yeah, here's the Zyklon B.
It's been used.
It's just a piece of tin, but the fact that you know what this shit can do.
Yeah,
well,
you
know what it did.
Yeah, I was going to say that's it. It's directly associated with one of the biggest atrocities in human history.
Yeah.
And look at
his face as well when he does it.
And it also diminishes the actions really into almost insignificance, the actions of the others that he's come across thus far.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is the lowest of the low. This represents the absolute, the pit of humanity. And it's just a reminder to him again, that's how bad things kind of are.
Smile like someone need an accurate count on that. Are you sure it was 23%?
Yes.
The thing is that this is the confrontation where it is, for everybody that talks about, this was racist and this and that, whatever. This is the reputation of all of that, right?
Yeah.
That when confronted with someone who is actually racist and who believes that he's an ally and is willing to help him, Michael Douglas is repulsed by him because he is the normal society as he sees himself, right? That I'm every hardworking guy who plays by the rules, who does the right thing, right? That I am the best of society in the behaviors you have, and you are trying to say that I'm like you. That's disgusting, and it makes him think for a minute about why would you think that, right?
I'm an American.
Right.
That's what it means to him. He is an American.
Yeah, you're a sick asshole.
Yeah.
And also I think it's
even though he kind of like calls him out on it, the racist does get pissed off, and he does.
His illusions are shattered, aren't they? He's a fantasy. He's like, this guy is me.
Reason with him a little bit as well, saying, "Listen, I'm just agreeing with you. That's all I'm doing. We have a right to disagree and agree on on our opinions.
It's the First Amendment, or freedom of speech."
Yeah, and I think also this flies in the face of all the critics that came out and said that this was a racist movie.
Right, exactly. This is the reputation of that.
I mean, this is that's right. I mean, come on. I mean, this is Michael Douglas. He's a Jewish actor. He's Jewish.
Yeah.
The director is Jewish.
And they're pretty fucking liberals as well, aren't they? So
yeah.
I think a lot of it was based on what he says to the Korean, though, because he does say like, "Oh, how much money we give to you, you come over here, blah blah."
Well, and he makes fun of his accent,
and that too, yeah, exactly. So
right, but the thing is that that's not right. It's not, but again, it's not that he targeted him for violence because
no, totally
he was it's just
malicious. I don't think he thinks he's
and again, he is looking and going, I am an American, and again, that's the reason he goes back to 65, right? The you didn't have the influx of refugees from different countries and all that, right? It was much more, it was white America in a lot of ways, which isn't like an endorsement of racist policies or whatever, but you knew, right, that everybody spoke English, regardless of, if you came in to get citizenship, you had to learn all of these things, right? And what he's seeing now,
communication as well, isn't it? It's communication. If you're gonna be living in a country that has a specific language, you got to learn to communicate.
And to be fair, I mean, the guy speaks English better than a lot of people that I know that have been born here, right? But he's like, bees. They don't have bees in China or whatever the hell he says, because I'm Korean, right? And that's how they get on the Korean kick or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's just a frustration he's lashing out.
That's another thing I did want to actually bring up. I meant to do it at the time and I forgot. As the only American that we do actually have here, what would you say would be the correlations between this film and the American Dream and the disintegration of it?
I think again that this is a film that could fit in many eras. I mean, it really is a timeless movie.
Timeless in that way, isn't it? I mean, this could be 2024, and a lot of it would still make sense.
Yeah, and it could be 1960. Or 1930.
But I was just thinking, because he was talking about 1965, and when he talked about 1965, that did just kind of put me in that mindset of America's heyday, the American dream, that kind of thing. So I just wanted your perspective.
Yeah, think about. So if you went back and said, okay, this is happening in 1965 in Detroit, and it's a black man, right? At the time, Detroit was the richest city in the world.
Yeah,
because
of the car companies that were there, right? It was the greatest creation of wealth that anybody had ever seen. By 68, it's on fire.
What, even more than like the gold rushes and everything like that?
Oh yeah, no. Detroit was the richest city in the world.
Holy shit! Now look at it.
Right. Yes, and in 68, you have the long hot summer, and you burn it down, and then you have the decline of the U.S. car companies, and now go look at it now, and it looks like somebody ran B-52 bombers over it. But if you were there and you start to see this happen, right? That you built your store and had a small business, and you had raised kids and sent them to college and all that stuff. And in 68, people come in and burn everything. You're going to go defense, right? Because everything is gone, and there's no building it back.
It's gonna feel like a destruction and an invasion, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the loss of everything that you know of your understanding of your fit in this city, and this city's role in the world. I mean, this is the reason that by the time they're doing Kentucky Fried Movie, the threat is they'll throw you off the island and send you to Detroit,
Right.
and everybody's like, no, not Detroit, right? Because it became the murder capital of the U.S.
Yeah, wasn't it the original Doom Spiral?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, and that's cool. I literally just wanted your perspective on it because obviously I have.
But I think you could set this in 1930 or 33, right, where you had the Okies having to leave because of the Great Depression and go to Oklahoma or go to California, where
Great Depression. Yeah,
they're essentially indentured servants.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's almost like history repeats itself in some way. There's always some kind of like depression coming along or recession.
I think there's always people that are being displaced because society is always, unless you go back to medieval times where things were essentially set, as far as like your life for a couple hundred years, nothing really radically changes. There's no big technological advance or anything like that. Right. But if you look at like modern society, there is always creative destruction of certain industries, of rise and fall of things, of markets that happen in one way or another, or you have wars, or you have things like that. Right. I mean, think about World War One. You had the destruction of like a generation of some of the, of your best and brightest, because you throw them into the mud of France and Belgium.
Yeah. And World War One was such a fascinating war as well. The politics before that and the way that the empires were sort of, it was almost all about empires, that war.
Yeah. But the thing is that to have your world totally changed in that way, right? That that everything was great. Oh my God, what the hell happened to this entire generation? Right? Oh, by the way, if you're British, what the hell happened to our role in the world? Because America suddenly rises up and goes, no, we're the big boys now. Well, hi, how you doing? Right? And by World War II, you don't even have an empire.
No, we were made to give it all back.
Country no more now. We don't.
Sucked.
Yeah, and
got like
so again, you could set this in London, in 45 or 46.
Yep, absolutely. As I say, that's why I think it endures, and that's why I think it will continue to.
Yeah, because again, it's every person can see themselves in this.
People will find relevance in it for years to come.
And even when it's not on the broad social change, your own personal situation, right? You lost your job.
Yep.
You've lost your family.
Everybody can relate to it. Everybody can relate to getting the burger and the burger not looking like the burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have nothing to lose.
Tiny little facet of it.
Yeah, all the little things that have been just one piece at a time has been taken from you or irritated you or they've lied to you or whatever. And finally you're like, I've had enough of that shit. Let's go.
Yeah,
speaking of which, when it comes to images being shattered, his dream of leading this big fucking movement has fucking gone out the window now. So now he's fucking reacting as well because
sadly, mate, you will not be born Hitler too.
Yeah, because he's not the comrade he thinks he's going to have now. He sees him as another traitor.
It's a betrayal. It's a betrayal, isn't it?
Yeah. You were my hero. Now you've betrayed me.
I honestly thought.
Also, there's a very homoerotic part of this.
Yes. I'm glad I'm not the only one who noticed this.
I thought it was going to go full.
Yeah, yep.
Right, on the ball gag kind of
We're going to bring out the gimp.
Yeah.
We need to get
and the bit where he's going, give it to me. I'm like, is there a tiny bit of unreliable narrator there? Because that seems a little bit.
No, there's a whole lot of homoerotic going on there.
So there's definitely
a lot of these.
What were you saying, Pandad?
We're fucking closet homosexuals and heroin addicts.
Yes, no, always, totally. But
but he's also kind of a threat to him getting back to his family as well now, because now he's threatening to tear him in, and he also smashes his little girl's birthday present as well. So
that's the tipping point. That is.
Yeah. So wait. So Pandad, what were you saying?
I was going to say that he needs to go and get some hard pipe hitting gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, but
we're going to get medieval on your ass.
So we're going to go full 1066.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this is the moment where he's really gone now. He's just killed a fucking guy. Yeah, the ass. He was a fucking asshole, but he's taken a life now. He's really taken a life, and he hasn't he doesn't seem to feel any guilt about it as well. He's actually got this big fucking adrenaline rush doing it.
Well, quite possibly he sees this person as less than human.
Yeah. I mean, he was practically trivializing the fucking genocide. Fucking.
He says it. I'm an American.
Yep.
You're a piece of garbage.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Obviously,
I'm not going to say that I've not
Pendergrass
thought
is,
about doing similar. I think, you know, certain things like pedos and things like that should just be fucking shot, you know, basically. So we've all kind of been there. We've all had, well, I don't know, maybe I'm not speaking for everybody else, but I'd like to think that we've all been that indignant that we're kind of like, that person doesn't deserve to live. They're that evil, blah, 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 blah. Certainly I have. So, you know.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's one thing that I mean, there's an emotional reaction where it's like, that's beyond the pale or whatever. I think that if you then stop and think about it, you're like, I might want to be real careful about the path that leads me down.
Yeah,
where
maybe.
I start to decide who is human and who is not. I recall that not working out so well for some people last time they tried that.
That's the bit I struggle with. I'm a bit black and white in that kind of way. But yeah, no, you are right. Certainly, you could certainly find yourself becoming the thing that you hate the most. You start going down the path of eugenics then, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep. Now we're back to this where Pendergrass has found out defense has a gym bag full of guns and is trying to get the other police officers to fucking take him seriously. But
I've got an ID on the gym bag, and the chief shows his. You gonna arrest me now?
Well, this is where Prendergast goes against the rules. This is where he starts.
And this is
but here it is. Yeah, I don't like a man who's afraid to hit the street.
With him as well, he's actually honest with him. He's not being formal now. He's actually telling it to him straight what he thinks of him. And I think in some way this does motivate Pendergrass to actually try and hit the streets again, because look, he gets his blazer on.
Well, he knows that the other cops aren't going to listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is important. He's like, look, this guy. Yeah, this guy has gone wacky. You know, he's shooting up whammy burgers and all that stuff, and he's only been escalating his violence. There's going to come a time where he kills somebody. Little do they know it's already happened.
And this is where Foster actually rings. I've got the character's name. Is it Beth or something? Beth?
It is Beth.
Yeah, Beth.
The actress is called Barbara Hershey.
Barbara Hershey.
Yeah, and this is where is. You know what? I'm not gonna be nice now. I've, like you said, I'm past the point of no return now, and
and he's explaining what it means.
Yeah, he's gonna force this fucking perfect day now with this perfect reunion, whether you like
They're
it or not.
coming to get you, Barbara.
Well, and I love he's talking about Apollo 13.
Yes, yeah, as the point of no return. Yeah.
Well, and he's like, you know, we were all waiting to see, you know, these guys just going to die in this tin can or what, right? And there's a detachment.
Yes, he's gone almost machine.
Yeah, an isolation. He's on the other side of the moon, the dark side of the moon, which I'm guessing.
Well, and then everybody was caught up in the idea of these guys or this and that, whatever. But you were waiting to see that they were just going to be dead in a tin can that'll be orbiting for forever or whatever, right? The excitement of the moment made you forget about the human element.
Yeah, not only that, it just establishes just how even more isolated.
He is out there. Yeah,
he's gone. Yeah, I mean he is the irresistible force at this point.
Yeah, and again because he is totally adrift now. There's no anchor. There's nothing. You know, he is totally. He's gone. There's no coming back to society, to the the buttoned up world that he lived in.
Yeah, panels need to have a fucking gay element sometimes, Outcast.
I mean, we didn't really tackle them; we just hugged them very, very enthusiastically.
Yeah, we did tackle, and then we rolled around. And, you know, one thing led to another. And
brought my own Wesson oil.
Yeah, but she tries to bluff her way as well, saying police officer.
Let me talk to him.
He doesn't buy it.
I've got to admit, what happens at the end of the film, she is the most stupid woman on the planet.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously.
She could have just told the judge to go fuck himself and.
Well, no, not even that.
No. The where she goes to hide. But the thing is, but there's again, it makes psychological sense. you when you fear, you tend to want to go where you are comfortable.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
She's trying to hide the.
And by the way, she's in public, right? That's the thing is, they always tell you, if you got problem with go into public areas, so you can't be attacked alone and be isolated.
There's got to be better places that aren't the first thing you'd think of.
Yeah. But that's the problem. It was the first thing she thought of because she's panicking.
Yeah, true. Yeah, she's not thinking rationally.
So now it's going back to square one to try and get a better idea of this defense and where he could go. And this is where he finds out that defense was the guy who left the fucking car during the traffic jam.
Yeah, and he's like, and I was there with him.
Yep.
Yeah. So it makes totally perfect sense. And now they can track him down. They can find out where he's living. See if they can get any more leads on him.
I love when he yells at the Korean guy, defense, and he's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" just looks at him like he's crazy.
Like I said, there's still some funny moments. It stops things from getting too fucking bleak because you need a little bit of.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would just be relentlessly dark, like a '70s nihilistic.
There's an element of dark comedy.
It makes sense to Robert Duvall's character as well because he is a bit of an optimistic guy despite his situation. He's a likable guy. He's a very affable person.
Not only that, but he's out in the field. He's doing the thing that he's wanted to do for some time. So he's.
You can see life has really breathed back into him now.
Yeah.
And obviously, she's trying to get the coppers on again, but it's not going to fucking work out because it's the second, third time the fucking.
It's the third time, yeah.
She's rang him. But yeah, this scene's so fucking good. I mean, you got this fucking asshole yelling at his old lady. There was no need for that, but yeah, he just fucking knocks him out.
Yes.
And always gets a laugh. Always gets a laugh out of me. I'm not going to lie.
That's what I'm saying. He's now become an overt force rather than being reactionary.
Yeah.
He's now like
proactive.
Exactly. He's proactive now.
Yeah, he's out of the conformity zone now, for lack of a better.
Yeah, I mean, he is. The thing is that, like with the neo-Nazi, he says, I'm no vigilante. He is now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is where he has gone full vigilante.
Yep.
He's embraced the militaristic outfit, and he's on a course of destruction now for sure.
Yeah, playing it safe. What has playing it safe done me?
Well, not playing safe, playing by the rules. Playing by the rules has got him directly nothing. It's got him nothing. So yeah.
Yeah, Smilex, he went full pickle.
I did actually want to say that I do see parallels between Taxi Driver and this.
Oh yeah, there's definitely, because I think when Joker came out, there was sort of comparing this to Falling Down and Taxi Driver, calling it the lesser version of those movies.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean the Joker was like the mix of Taxi Driver and the King of Comedy.
Yeah, I like King of Comedy. Yeah, King of Comedy is fucking great. I'm gonna have to do that as well because
still not sure about it. We'll have to wait and see.
How is that still fucking underrated? That is a great
film. That thing was always kind of an underground movie. I mean, I remember watching it as a kid on HBO, and it was like, man, this is great. And then it disappeared, and nobody ever talked about it. I was like, am I the only one that saw it? What the hell happened?
Yeah, it seems to be getting more of a following these days. Thank God.
People have discovered it.
This is where he realizes all this fucking construction work is a load of bollocks. They're just trying to get more fucking money for the next budget, because they got to spend the amount they've been given, otherwise they get less next time. Because
and he understands that from his corporate job.
Yes,
right, because he's a government contractor. You know that if your budget goes down, then that's what your budget's going to be. If you don't spend it all, then you're going to get that amount that you spent next year.
It's another part.
And he does try to be reasonable with the guy, and he does try to be reasonable with the guy as well. And he's still being such a fucking arsehole. He's like, "You're telling me the city fell apart in 2 days?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, so." And
yeah.
So he's going to fucking react to that.
And, he's like, "Oh, you want to disrespect me? I don't think you're going to like how that works out."
This budget situation is another symptom of the system that he hates. The fact that this is what councils or municipal departments do. They spend the budget on mindless shit so that they get the same amount next year, but it's not the way that he moralistically thinks it should be.
Right.
It's not what his perception of normality. Yeah.
Yeah, this is I mean, that's a good point the switch that kind of flips for defense is he stops viewing the world as it is and insists on how it should be. And those are two different words for a reason, right? And so there's this kind of mental view of how the world should operate, and he is going to make it so. Right, at least
now he
within
has the fucking artillery and the power to do it now, and he's kind of feels like he's got the confidence and the will to do it as well.
Right, now he's proactive. Now he has gone vigilante. Right.
Yep.
I know, and the guy actually starts taking him seriously once he sees the gun. And
he sees the gun, and he's like, "Hey, man, I think it's a sewer job. I don't know, it's whatever."
And once again, you still emphasize with him because these guys are causing a lot of fucking aggro to all these fucking people trying to get to work or trying to get back home to their families.
And how many times do you see construction zones where there's nobody working?
There's nobody there. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh yeah, not fucking times. It's annoying. And once again, it leads to a very funny moment as well, where this kid's just telling him how to fucking.
I love this bit. It's brilliant. He's like, "What's the name of the movie?"
It's a movie. It's
yeah, saw in the movie. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the name of the
Under
movie?
construction, yeah.
My kids, and the kid's like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
It cracks me up. It cracks me up. It does. It feels like a very natural bit of humour as well. It doesn't feel like something out of another movie.
The way Michael Douglas is with the kids in this film is just completely different to the way that he is with adults in this film.
Yeah, because kids are innocent still, aren't they?
But,
when you're adult,
they're not part of the system. They're the ones that will then be subjected to the system later. Yeah. But again, that's why I think that's why he also references 1965. He would have been a kid.
Yes, yeah. Last time he would have been innocent before he got corrupted by the system.
before he really started to be involved with the system and
which means you can actually draw parallels from this and the Matrix, which is a bit weird. There you go.
But yeah, this is where they've tracked down the address that this guy's registered, and it leads to his mum. And this is where I found out a little bit more just how really just over the edge this guy.
Yeah,
and she does a great job acting here.
Yeah,
really good. Is he the one making the animals?
No.
That's
the glass. No, she buys them. It's the knick-knack stuff.
Okay, so he has no creative outlet at all that we can tell.
No.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
But he's
that's his dad
as well, hasn't he? He's got like a dad who was a war hero, so
and died when he was young, I believe.
So he didn't have a father figure to help him through his issues as well. So
that's going to cause some resentment as well.
Yeah, and you can tell by the mom, she's also got more than a bit of the neurotic going on, and
and she's really restrained. She's like really trying to. She's really evasive as well. She's not. She doesn't want to say anything. She's worried, but he calms her down. He just sort of like he doesn't act like a cop. He acts just like a human being who wants to talk.
He's used to
it. He knows how to work people.
Yeah, he knows.
Again, he's a really good cop.
Yeah, and he's a very friendly person.
That was Lois Smith from Twister, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
She was in True Blood as well, wasn't she?
She's what? Sorry.
I think she was in True Blood as well. I think.
Oh, she was.
Oh yeah.
She's actually been in the game for 72 years.
Whew.
Bloody hell.
Started in 72. Yeah, she started in 1952. She's done all sorts of TV and film, which I think she's done a lot of treading the boards, as it were, theatre and stuff like that. So 93-year-old,
isn't it?
Still alive?
Intense thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
93. Yeah.
Once again, it's like he started off being inconvenienced by the lower kind of people. Now he's up against the higher ups who have.
There's nobody in society other than not economically viable that he's really identified with, other than kids.
Yeah, because these guys have had so much money, but have chosen to do it more for selfish pursuits instead of anything that could have benefited society more.
But again, rudeness. Right, this guy is shouting him off, and he was like, "I'm trying to get off your thing." Now he's turn around and go back. What? And then he's like, "Bar!" And just, what are you trying to kill me?
Am I going to hell because I absolutely pissed myself at this part?
No, I loved it. This is hilarious.
When that buggy went down the hill with his heart.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you're gonna die wearing that stupid hat.
Yeah. I feel like played a darkly
My
humorous kind
pills,
of-
my pills. Where's your pills? Oh, they're in the.
Oh.
But yeah, these are kind of the elites as well. These are the elites that are probably
Yeah.
fucking sponging our tax money on all sorts of fucking
Part of the
bollocks.
problem,
Yeah, these are
Well,
are,
and he talks about, he's like this should be, you know, a park with families should be playing, and this is that, whatever. It's like, my golf course. Yeah, it's your golf course. You're gonna die here.
I got a feeling that Joel Schumacher probably doesn't like golf and golfers.
I'm good with that.
No. Michael Douglas is actually an avid golfer as well, so
Yeah, and look at like the meticulous
Yep.
way that he takes care of his room.
Yeah,
And,
so
and
it's
notice
really
what she
dying
says.
on,
If he wasn't at work, I'd be afraid to step in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a very orderly guy, but she has no clue just how disorganized he's becoming more and more.
Well, but she mentions it in that if you go back a couple of things where she talks about when they eat.
Yeah, no,
I really.
Yeah,
I think it's one more where she
can't swallow.
Because he looks at her like he wishes she was dead.
Yeah.
What I really want to know is, he keeps mentioning 1965, so when the character was obviously a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Was he on the Polar Express by any chance?
I'm wondering, is that when his dad died?
He was hit by the train.
Yeah, probably a reminder of happier times, and I don't think it does.
Yeah, because it said that his dad died when he was young, so it may have been.
Yeah, would that Purple Heart certificate have been dated?
Yeah, but we also get clothes as well, because now he knows what he looks like, and now he knows what his wife looks like as well, and where she lives. So he's got something to go on it as well. But but once again, we get more backstory as well into that Foster blamed his mother for what happened, and he's never let he doesn't even.
Oh, he was fired over a month ago.
Where she lives either. It's also when we found out that he was fired for a month. It was a month ago.
Yeah. She's like, well, where's he been eating his lunch?
Yeah, once again, it's little things that thicken that develop the character even more. We're learning more about his character, and it really does hit home how shit things have turned out for this guy, and how much it is,
and how much he's been repressing it and hiding it.
Yeah, and it's been building up, and right now he's just at boiling point now. It's exploded, and this is where we come to. I think it's Zito from Miami.
Yeah, Zito. Yeah. My wife, as soon as she saw this, she was like, "Oh," because she always remembers the episode from Miami Vice when Zito gets killed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is a fucking tearjerker.
Yeah. That's a heart ripper.
Just holds him. He doesn't even fucking burst into tears. He just does that look on his face and shakes his head, then hugs him. It's
yeah.
Once again, he's learning more and more just how unfair the world has been.
Yeah. Plastic surgery bought all this.
Yeah,
he's done all this, and it's the plastic surgeons that get all the fucking rewards by turning genuine people into fake
freaks. Yeah, and he's like, I went into the wrong business. Yeah, their correspondence courses for plastic surgery. Yeah, then I lost my job. Well, actually, I didn't lose it. It lost me.
I'm educated, underskilled,
or the reverse, whatever that is. Yeah, and then he loses it with oh my God, are you hurting? No, it's your blood.
Yeah, it's almost like the adrenaline is worn out, and now it's kind of gone back to what his main focus was in the first place. That's kind of reminded him of it.
Yeah, well, the other thing is that
an innocent.
Yeah, these people are very polite.
Yeah, they act rude to him as well.
They're apologizing, with all this, and so he has no quarrel with them at all. And also, again, he sees his. This is a projection of his view of how his family should be.
Yeah, no, the guy even fucking is willing to take the risk as well and put himself in harm's way for the little girl, and
yeah.
He still thinks he's doing the right thing as well. He still thinks he's
and that was the thing. And we'll all sleep together.
Because he says, "Do you think I'm trying to hurt your family?" As if the point in the finger.
Yeah, I have a family too.
Yeah, I'm not the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, but what do you think I am? I'm not a monster. I wouldn't hurt a child and family. That's ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing that, he perceives the difference between innocence and the system.
Yeah. Well, again, it's the people that behave the right way, that are doing the right thing or whatever. He has no problem with them. It's not random violence. It's not just spurging out or whatever. It's specific things, and they are very specific, right? It's the assholes on the golf course that are just being a douche. And I mean, he doesn't actually lay a hand on him. He just fires a shotgun in the air, and then nature takes its course.
And plus, he's actually managed to catch up to him now. Is because he's at the pier now, isn't he? He's trying to bar the horse, and obviously that fucking shakes her up. So now she has to fucking get the hell out of there.
Oh, by the way, he says I went to buy a rocking horse.
Yeah,
he's already bought a rocking horse for her before, and he sees it in the video.
Well, the rocking horse was in the snow globe, wasn't it? Or was that a unicorn?
No, he had the snow globe. He was saying that he was there at the ice cream parlor, and he was looking to buy a rocking horse because he wants to bring a gift. And she's like, "Oh shit, he's real close. Gotta go."
Yeah, and he kind of just fucking stops as well, doesn't he? And just goes back in and watches the video of the.
Yeah, because they're gone.
Happier days.
Yeah. And then it reminds him that maybe they weren't as happy as.
But this is where they've also realised he's going to Venice because he's already caused a lot of destruction around the construction area. And that is
and he's been walking a straight line.
Haven't they? So. And I think it's almost like it puts him off as well. Like the guy's so fucking in the depression, and he's so willing to go back to those brighter days with his family that is just losing himself into these old videos.
Yeah, this is the closest he can get to having his family right now because they're gone. I mean, they left the house, and the dog is with him.
Pendergrass is trying to get fucking help, but no one fucking cares. And his wife has to fucking mess everything up again. She's proper overreacting about getting a bloody cat scratch.
So again, it's defense has cut his hand. She ends up getting cut on her hand.
Yeah, defense kind of forgets about it, doesn't he? But she's like
he wraps around. He does a wrap and he's good. But yeah, again, these weird parallels between these two.
But it's a very proud moment where he actually stands up to her and calls out.
Oh my God, this is so great. And leave the skin on the chicken.
Yeah, and even she's like, okay,
you don't have to bite my head off.
I won't give you any more shit now.
Yep.
You fucking alphaed me.
Yep. But I love that. Sadly, you don't have the image where he kind of adjusts his waistband and sucks in the air through his teeth,
I should have put that. But yeah, once again, a little bit of humor to add some levity to a very dark thriller.
Yeah.
And it does look but there's no time for a fucking strip shot. He's got to get this guy as well, and this guy just proper fucking insults his wife as well, just for no reason. He didn't need to. But he gets
and introduces Susie Q. A good callback for Robert Duvall, since Susie Q played in for God's sakes, Apocalypse Now. When the strippers, when they playmates.
What is that, same actress?
No.
Yeah, she's hot though.
Yeah.
But yeah, one last hurrah, but no fucking time. And then this asshole just says, can't blame me, have you met his wife?
He's like, what'd you say?
But once again, it's another proud moment. He slaps this guy because he's being...
Yeah, he just goes up and clocks that guy.
He's the asshole that gets his comeuppance in the end.
Yeah. He's got that face. That actor just has that douchebag face.
And he plays it well. Once again, we see a bit more of his past as well, and before this whole event happened. And yeah, there was always hints that this guy was very unstable. The kid's just crying because she doesn't want to go on the horse, and he's getting real fucking angry because he bought the horse.
Yeah, be the perfect thing. Yeah, I bought her the goddamn horse.
He has this pre-perceived notion of how that particular scenario should play out, and it's not playing out that way, and he can't handle it.
Yeah, he's got too much of these preconceived notions. And
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's pretty much his entire character defect.
Yeah.
It may well be.
Again, he operates in kind of this land of should instead of what is.
Yeah. He may well have something like change adjustment disorder or something like that, but it's not. Obviously,
He could just be an asshole. I don't know.
It could just be. A kid. You never know.
But unfortunately,
that's one of the great things about it is that it's not made explicit, which I wish that more films would do these days.
Yeah, I love the vagueness of it. So again, it's so much easier to project yourself into and see and identify with the character.
Plus, it unfortunately does lead to him to realise where she might be hiding, and Pendergrass has shown up with Rachel Ticotin, if I'm pronouncing their name right, but he hasn't got his gun, so he can't.
He turned it in because he's retiring.
But obviously, they try to bust in. He fucking shoots, makes a break for it, and now it's up to him to take the lead. So, she passes him she passes him her gun. Now he has to go find him.
And oh my God, is he a cool cucumber during the confrontation?
Oh yeah. I mean, you want a cop like this to negotiate these kind of hostile situations here. Because,
where he gets the angle where only Barbara Hershey can see it, and just pulls back his jacket real quick so she sees the gun. And
plus, it goes back to them two being this flip side of the same coin, and.
Oh yeah, till death do us part. You
can see with the real animosity he has towards her now, because
she's rejected him.
It's like you said earlier as well. Some countries you can kill your wife if she insults you.
Yeah.
And she's kind of done that. She's destroyed his pride and taken the very thing that means something to him away.
Well, and again, that he shows up, he's gone through all of this hell today, and she rejects him.
Mm-hmm.
No, but still,
and then there's
a lot of crazy stuff now, and we need to get back to sympathizing with him a little bit, because this is what the whole thing was all about. Him just seeing his daughter, just trying to.
Yeah,
he's not seen her in a long time.
Yeah, they took that from me.
Yeah. Yeah, and you do feel sorry for him as well, and I think she does a little bit, because she even says, "You need help. You're sick."
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
they stole it from me.
Yeah, you should take a walk around this town. That's sick.
Yes,
that's exactly. And then Pendergrass just pops up, doesn't he? And he's like saying, "Hey, you want to know what's sick?"
Yeah, we used to fish this very spot.
Yeah, now it's all shit and fucking people's piss and everything.
Can't even swim in the water. The bacteria will get you.
Once again, he's playing it very cool. He's not trying to rile him up or anything. He's doing
again, there's an assertiveness, but it's not confrontational. When he says, "I'm leaving soon."
Well, no, he's pretty much the only one that's tried to speak to him like a human.
Yeah, but the thing is that he doesn't when he's like, I'm having a moment with my family, he doesn't back off. There's kind of this flat voice, like, "I'm leaving soon," right? He's letting him know, I'm going to have my peace. Yeah. I'm not I'm not being confrontational, but I'm standing my ground. So he's not triggering him, right? Because again, it's not rude. It's just saying I have the right to be here as well, and I'm just. Well, by the way, I'll be leaving soon, but I'm gonna say my piece, and so that doesn't trigger Michael Douglas.
But like I said, he's kind of got his grief as well a little bit with when it comes to having a kid, because Foster still has his kid, but she's been taken away from him. Pendergrass's kid has been taken away from him as well, but it was but for real. I mean, she's gone. She's never coming back.
Yeah.
Foster still has that chance with his daughter, and he's probably trying to help Foster come back a little bit. And, second chance.
Yeah.
Try and sort this out.
It's like, understand that this you can still, your child can still be alive. Right, you can see her grow or whatever, and that's as he brings up a little later when he's like, behind bars. I don't think so.
Yeah,
but the thing is, Prendergast, I mean, he chokes up when he talks about losing his child.
Yeah, because he genuinely means it as well. He's not trying. He's not lying. He's not faking.
He's not conning him. He's telling him
yeah.
this, right? And he's trying to make an emotional cut because he thinks this guy. I think I can bring him back.
Yeah, because I lost a daughter, but maybe the death of my daughter could mean something if I try and help him reconnect with his daughter and come back.
Right.
So yeah.
But his copping sticks kick right back in. I was super impressed. Considering he's been sat behind a desk for ages, he gets rid of that weapon pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And yeah, she fucking snatches it and throws it off, and he just runs around panicking. And I love this bit where he said, "What were you going to do?" And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I know exactly what you were
know
gonna
exactly
do.
what you were going to do." Yeah.
Yep.
You were going to kill your wife and child, and soon after you realised what you had done, realising there was no turning back, you would turn the gun on yourself. And this is where he realizes
I'm the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. And you do feel for him in that moment because he genuinely didn't think he was.
No, and again, I mean the behavior throughout the movie is that there's this moral code running, and it's not he's not being randomly violent and all of this, right? He's doing the right thing. But again, he's kind of operating in this should world, not how things are.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's also like everything that is he's kind of just unloading it as well. Like he said, I did everything they told me to. Then they found out they gave it to plastic surgeons. They lied to me, and Pendergrass is like, "Wait, really? I mean, we've all been fucking lied to. The government has fucked everyone."
Yeah, you think you're special?
Yeah. There was no excuse to what you fucking did. We all get fucked by the system, but we don't go around fucking causing fucking carnage all the time.
Right, and again, this is the parallel that Prendergast and Defense have been running the whole time. The difference is that Prendergast stays within the system, right? That he just continues to fight. Where he's like, you think you're special? You think you're the only one the system fucked? What the hell are you talking about?
They lie to everybody.
Yeah, they lie to everybody.
Very much a narcissistic. I mean, almost kind of Munchausen syndrome, if you like.
Yeah,
it's kind of.
Yeah.
I do love Prendergast's saying where he says the only thing that makes you special is that little girl.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's why he realizes, you know what, this is where I should die because she'll get the insurance. My life has no meaning, but my death could mean something.
Yeah. This I can be responsible one last time.
Yeah. Not only that, I can't support my kid, but in life, but in death, my kid could be set up.
Yeah, I'm taking on my responsibilities.
Yeah. So he's sacrificing himself for his daughter, and it does kind of redeem him a little bit as well.
It does redeem him.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah, it is his final redemption, isn't it? I mean, his choices at this stage are die or certainly spend a lot of time in prison. I don't know if it'd be.
Yeah, and the thing is that in many ways it's him returning to society, right? Because his job as a father is to take care of his family.
Yeah,
and it's finally that moment where the mirror's actually been held up in front of him, so he can actually see who he is now.
Yes,
yeah.
I know, because how can he go back to being a decent guy after all that as well?
Well, he can't. He's past the point of no return. He's told you that.
He doesn't want to. He's seen the sickness. It's like Taxi Driver. He's seen the sickness in the city and it's changed him. So when we speculated at the end of Taxi Driver that it's only a matter of time before Bickle turns again, that's kind of what it is with Foster.
Well, I think the other thing is that so he has been adrift and had no purpose and can't be involved with he can't even support his family or whatever. In this last moment, he can suddenly have a place again, which is supporting his family.
Yeah. Whereas with Travis Bickle, I think he kind of reached his end game. I think that was he was kind of satisfied at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. But we speculated. There's just a look in his eyes right at the end of the film. I'm sorry, I can't remember if you were on that one, Inside Man, but we just speculated that it would happen again because nothing's changed in society. His perception has, and his perception could well change again because it was a corruption of time. As I said, he saw the city as being sick, And it's nearly exactly the same thing that Foster says in this. Have you seen it? It's sick out there. That's what's sick, not me. So
yeah, but I think that he sees the reason that he sees the cities being sick is because, again, he's lost all of his anchors, and he's adrift, and he's just looking at the basic, social rules that should be in effect, and they're not. And what the hell? Because that's the last thing that he could possibly cling to, right? Is just the basic human interaction, the rules that you're supposed to have, and even that is.
But he didn't have any support structure. I mean, he hasn't got any friends. He hasn't.
Right. So that's all right. Just the interaction with the anonymous, other people, and even that doesn't work because people have decided to opt out of these rules, and he is operating with this. This is the way things should happen. And he rebels against it. But again, at this point, this is a chance for him to have an anchor point again, to have meaning in his life or his death, and to fit back into society because he becomes the provider for his family.
Yeah.
In death.
He has to give Pendergast a reason to kill him as well. So
right, because he can't commit suicide.
Yeah, it's suicide. Yeah.
It's because
I guess it's a way of him rejoining the system without being a part of it.
Right, and his last act is to become responsible in the system again and achieve one thing, which is take care of his family.
Yeah.
And on this, once again, he eggs him on, and looks like he's pulling a real gun and gets killed. Turns out it's a water pistol, and gets this one last little bit of bravado going.
I would have got you.
Yeah, like that. I would have got.
It's the first time we see him really fucking smile as well. Like he seems really happy in that last moment.
Again, because he now has a place again.
Yeah. But also, he doesn't have to deal with it. He doesn't have to see it on a daily basis. He's escaped from his perspective.
Yeah, well, this last act is I'm taking care of my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it Rambo said, "Live for nothing, die for something." Yeah, but Pendergast this is like his the first time he's been out on the street and he's had to kill a guy that he really wish he hadn't have done.
Yeah,
it tells us sadness as well, because I think in a way he does relate to Foster a little bit here, but
yeah, because again he's like they lied to all of us, and Pendergast has gone on a similar trek.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, we all know how fucking depraved our society and government is, but we're still hanging in there, aren't we? We aren't going fucking nuts and causing chaos.
Yeah, but again, that's why this movie is so impactful, right? That you look at every interaction and you're like, yes, that.
Yeah, he could almost be us. We could almost be.
Catch me on the wrong day. When I have had enough and I'm not putting up with bullshit and that'll be my response.
That's what I think with the level of violence that he perpetrates in this, it doesn't necessarily kind of lead you to think that he's a psychopath, more a sociopath.
Yeah.
Yes. No. I totally get sociopathic tendencies from him. It's society that's the problem. It's his perception of the world around him.
It's his position in it.
Yeah.
Right, he becomes disconnected from society.
Yeah, his position or lack thereof. Yeah.
Right, that seems to have the worst track record for this kind of mental health as well, especially with cities with such a high population.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a depersonalization.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like the more in a crowded area you are, the more isolated you are from people.
That when I was in New York City back in 2017, before it became a return to its shithole status. The people would tell me, like, on the if you're on the subway, don't talk to people or whatever. And I was like, what are you talking about? I mean, I would talk to people all the time, and at first they would be like shocked, but then they would start talking, right? But I figured out that it was everybody just. I mean, you're standing 6 inches from someone, and everybody acts like nobody's there.
Yeah, it's like that on the London Underground. Believe me.
Yeah, it's exactly the same in Japan as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's.
And the thing is that if you look at subways and things like that. I mean, there's not 5 cops in every car that's somehow keeping the peace, right? It's people, again, we're prickly. So, we make room for people. If somebody bumps into you, you don't make a big fucking fuss about it unless you're an asshole. And when people, behave like assholes, you kind of see everybody else just like they're not part of us, right? They'll move away and isolate or whatever. But the humans will kind of self-organize and figure out the rules that we need to have for this. And when you have someone who understands the rules and like intentionally violates them because they know that everybody else is just their inclinations not to call them out,
will naturally ostracize the people that don't play.
Right, but the thing is that they can get away with a lot of things because we tend to not want to have a confrontation to get into it, right? And so they become like wolves among the sheep. The thing is that occasionally you run into somebody who was like, "Yeah, I ain't playing that," right? And because as Fandad kind of pointed out, that's bullying, right? You're intentionally intimidating people because you know that they'll back down. Well, defense ain't doing that today. He may have done it any other day.
Yeah,
this ain't the day.
It's a progression thing from, isn't it? It's everything's just got too much. It's an accumulation of things. It could have been today, it could have been tomorrow.
From starting off as minor things to destroying property to eventually actually killing someone. Or
this is the thing, we can only speculate on, apart from the things we're told, like he's lost his job and obviously he lost access to his child. We can only speculate on what's been happening recently. The only thing we know is that he's been taking that briefcase, he's been taking that lunch, and he's been fucking off for work hours and not coming back until those work
it's
hours.
obviously a pride thing as well. He doesn't want to appear to people that he's a nobody who has no fucking job or no family.
Well, it's just a facade.
Yeah. I mean, it's his like emotional and psychological anchor that I am still a productive member of society. I still belong in society.
He's desperately clinging to something that has some meaning, even though it's an empty briefcase.
Right.
So,
and clinging to all of those social conventions.
So we've come to Pendergrass. He's revealed that he's not going to retire, and the last thing we see is an old video of Foster in happier times before this whole tragedy, before the dark times.
Yeah. I do love the bit with the captain where he's like, "Oh, in Sergeant Pendergrass, well, fuck you very much, Captain."
Yeah, he really fucking gives it to him because he's shown to his boss that he's not the fucking cowardly cop that he's been made out.
Well, it's not just that; it's just they were constantly sort of like, "Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. We're going to be against you if you do this," and he does it, and they're like, "Oh, well done," trying to get some of that.
Well, and the other thing is they've disrespected him continuously, and they think that he's an easy pushover, and he's like, "No, I've been keeping receipts."
Yeah.
Again, it ends on a nice note for Pendergrass. He gets his fucking pride back. He stands up to his wife. He gets that lust. He gets that lust for
life again.
His enthusiasm for his job again.
Yeah, and again, his growth is again asserting himself, pushing against what people do or whatever. He's doing the same thing the defense is, just not to the same level, right? Because again, they're starting at different points, but they're both asserting themselves. One of them ends well, one of them doesn't. And most of it's just a matter of degree of how much you're asserting yourself. But yeah, you see this at the end, and again, it humanizes defense once again.
Yeah, as I say, I think he is one of the great multi-layered anti-heroes. I really do.
But what I think is genius about this is that you have Prendergast, who, from writing terms, should be the lead character because he has that change in his character. He has that alteration, that about turn, that 180-degree turn on it. And that really is the definition of what happens to a lead character. Yeah. So he, for all intents and purposes, should have been the lead character. His character arc.
But all that only happens because of defense.
Right.
All of those traits of the lead character. But of course, he's
but
not
defense is the prime mover.
He's the catalyst.
He is the absolute catalyst. Yeah.
So I think it's a really interesting character study, societal study. Obviously, I can't relate to a lot of it. I've never experienced that part of America or anything like that, and I wasn't there. But I think, as everybody says, everybody can
Even if
relate
this
to it because of
wasn't
the
in
little
America,
things they put into it.
I don't think. I think even if this was set in London and not America, you could probably still get the same impact because
Yeah,
it's transferable.
yeah. No,
Easily
I can't.
transferable.
I can't identify with the specifics. I mean, we've all been there on a hot day in
Mm.
London. There's loads of people around. You're on the tube. You know, you feel like you're going to snap. And in all honesty, it's why I didn't take a job in London when I could have, because I knew that I would have gone absolutely psychotic and ended up on the bloody front page of a paper.
and that's that because
it is a horribly aggressive
so
environment.
that was falling down now, and we've gone through the movie, and it has still aged really fucking well.
And it will
Really
continue
well.
to do so.
It gets
It
better.
will continue to do so. 20 years from now, people will still be watching this film.
Yeah, it is a timeless movie about every man.
Yep, absolutely.
I think every moviegoer should watch this. It should be on the top 10 of 1,001 movies you must watch before you die kind of books, because it's that fucking important.
I think it is. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's an important movie.
Yeah,
I think it is an important movie. I do, and it did quite well. It was 25 million budget, and it made 100 million, I think.
That's pretty good.
So it did pretty good
for all of the negative press.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. I hope they never remake it. I really do. I hope they just leave it. I don't think they will.
Because it's not really dated, has it? I mean, you get the Nazis fashion here, but it still looks like this could have been made today.
Yeah,
it won't date. If you took away sort of things like the cars and stuff like that, which obviously are very dated, and maybe a few of the other elements, like the commercial elements that look dated. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
you have to leave Sir Mix-a-Lot's big butt. I mean, that just goes without saying.
I did not get that.
It kind of inspired Frank Grimes in The Simpsons as well, because he was inspired by Michael Douglas's character, and once again, he's another fucking guy who's played by the rules, and it's constantly bit him on the ass, and he eventually loses it, and it leads to his downfall as well as his death as well.
But nothing's changed. The societal problems that are all there.
Yeah.
Well, and again, it's if nothing else, it's a personal character study, right? That society it is less important, because you're always going to run into somebody who's rude, who pushes you a bit, and if you're already in the state where it's like, fuck this, I'm walking away from things, right? I've stepped out, right? And I was kind of view things like, there's certain moments where the world suddenly like shifts to the left about 6 inches, and you just see everything differently, right? And that's what happens when he steps out of the car, right? Everything just shifts a bit, and he's no longer in the same world that he was when he was sitting in the car. Right, he has stepped out of society. He has stepped out of the rules and the things you're supposed to do, right? And it just keeps going. But the thing is that anybody who has lost their fit in the world, their understanding of their place in it, and the connections that you have, where you no longer have connection to family, you no longer have meaning because you have no job, right? And that defines you so much. You don't have friends. You don't have a social circle that you operate within, right? When you are cast adrift like that, it's very easy to really run amok. And you look at people who do end up going on crime sprees, killing sprees, things like that. They tend to follow us that kind of pattern, right? They didn't have any friends. They were bullied. There was problems in the home. They didn't have jobs, or they were doing jobs that they thought were menial, that weren't really important or whatever, right? And they tend to escalate, right? They'll do little things that are outside the norm and kind of breaking society's laws, and then they just keep going, right? And if you don't stop them early in that path, they will continue to escalate.
It's funny because you used a word there which I think is absolutely really quite crucial, and that is the word easy. It's easy to go down that path, and that, in contrast to Prendergast's character, the difficulty that he must have had to endure, all those difficulties and struggles that he had to go down the path that he did. And the ease at which somebody can quite quickly slide into this mental state without working to get themselves out of it.
Right. It's why Prendergast. You look at him and go, he's the stronger man.
Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely.
Oh,
right.
absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's not giving a fuck anymore, is he? Everyone, we still have this kind of agreeable trait in us, and it's almost like he's very slowly that agreeable trait is disintegrating inch by inch, as the movie goes on.
Well, and I think the thing is that that's a front, right? He does what he needs to do. Yeah, I'll laugh it off because if I take you seriously, I'll probably knock you out, right? And so I laugh it off and I laugh it off until I'm not laughing anymore, right? And that's kind of the path he goes on. And then again, when he asserts himself, when he re-engages with the this is what I do. This is who I am, right? I'm not just cop who sits on desk. Yeah, I do my job or whatever, but the what I really believe that I should do, that reinvigorates him and resets his relationships at home and all that, right? He is reforming his place in society. Defense has opted out of society.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're both asserting themselves. Like Pendergrass does it honestly. Foster starts to become a bit more morally dishonest as the film goes on. It's like it's boiling points, but in opposite directions, and for both characters.
I think that what happens is you have the early choice of Prendergast is going to redefine his position in society. Defense has reached a point where he is no longer a part of it. He is stepping out of it because it hasn't worked for him. Right. And again, at the end, they both are like, what he's like, they lied to me. And he's like, that's what you're mad about? They lie to all of us. Right.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Yeah.
And it's that doesn't give you the excuse to run amok.
Yeah.
That you decided to step out and no, I'm not playing by the rules anymore. Well, that had a logical end if you kept not playing by the rules. And that's exactly what defense does.
Yeah, because in the end, it all escalates, doesn't it? And it doesn't always end well. But like we said, at the end, he does redeem himself. He allows Pendergrass to take him down, and he allow his daughter to be.
Yeah, and allows him to actually become a part of society one last moment.
Yeah,
he fulfills his duty.
Yeah, not only that, because all that money that from his insurance is from the years he spent working as well. Complying to the system. So, in a way, complying to the system might have worked out for his daughter more than him in a way.
Right, but that also goes to Prendergast, who said the only thing that makes you special is that little girl, right? So that's
probably what leads him to want to get to encourage Pendergast to gun him down.
Well, but the other thing is that it's defining that one of the roles. I mean, the reason that you have family is because the role of family in society is to create the next generation that will then take over and run society. I mean, that's why you always see defense deferring to children. Being very, very
respectful of them,
and caring for them and all of that, right? And at the end of the day, when you become a parent, what you want is subservient to the role of raising that child the right way.
That's a
it's
really
his legacy
good point.
as well. He won't have a legacy any other way.
Mm-hmm.
So she will be his legacy.
Right.
So that was Falling Down. I will be ending the stream soon anyway because
what's next week?
Yeah, next week I think is it Tomb Raider? Yeah, it's Tomb Raider next week.
Hopefully,
Jigglies.
Have you on your side for that because you've worked on that, haven't you?
I did. Yes, I did indeed.
Yeah, so I'll be interested in that. So, final thoughts on Falling Down. I'll go first. It's still a very powerful, smartly written, violent, but very funny thriller as well. And the performances are outstanding. Michael Douglas is at his best, and the character of Defense is still one of the most memorable, more relatable characters of not just that era, but today as well. And he is definitely not dated once. It's not showing its age. It can still be made today and still resonate today because of how powerful the themes are that are going on in there, and the escalation from agreeable fucking dweeb drawn in society to finally reaching that final breaking point is still well executed. And so Inside Man, final thoughts on Falling Down?
Well, it's a classic, isn't it? I don't think it will date, and I'd agree that you really could place this in any decade, and it will be relevant. It will be relevant 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years ago. It would have been relevant. 70 years ago, it would have been relevant. In any other country, in the UK, this would be relevant. It doesn't matter where it's set and when it was made. There's a relevance there. It's transposable. It's transferable, and I went to the cinema to see this, and it literally blew me away. I couldn't, I'd seen a couple of things about it on TV. There were a couple of TV spots which they focus mainly on the whammy burger scene. But when I went to see it, I wasn't prepared for how effective it was going to be. A superb piece of work, superb writing, fantastic acting. You're going to go a long way to try and find acting of this caliber. It's just a terrific film.
Writing of this caliber as well, Doc, because fucking hell, they really have. They really knew what they were doing with this character.
Yeah. And if I was going to score it, I would score it a 10, all the way. It's a great film.
10 out of 10.
It's a great film. It's not a good film. It's not even a very good film. It's a great film.
Yeah, Emperor Goodwin.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And there's, the thing about I remember the first time that I watched Falling Down, it was, there was an oppressiveness to it, and part of it is the soundtrack. There's kind of this grinding, kind of thing, and then the setting of it, where you can be sitting in a deep freeze and still feel sweaty. Watching
the way he shoots it as well, the way he just quick cuts every single fucking scene in that first scene with all the kids shouting, the cars bibbing, the flashing lights, everything just cranking up.
Yeah, you get the combination of claustrophobia and sensory overload, and then the heat and the fly that you just can't kill is driving you nuts, right? And then finally you're just like, I got to get out, right? It's I'm here we go, right? But I think that the Inside Man is exactly right. This thing is timeless. You really could put it in any era, in any country. If this is a Japanese company man, it would play just as well. Put it anywhere, and it really is every man. If you can't see yourself in defense, you're not introspecting enough about what can, or you've lived some sort of blessed life where you've never run into any kind of problems or adversity. I think that the cinematography is magnificent. Again, the sound design is great on it. The acting is no one misses a beat. No one. And yeah, I think this is one of the few movies that I could absolutely say this is a 10. Go ahead and try and remake this. Please do. I'll point and laugh at you because you're not going to meet this.
It will not be the same.
No.
So critical final thoughts.
It's all been said, to be honest. What I will say is that this is a film that Hollywood cannot dream to make these days. This is an important film with a multifaceted anti-hero that we can all relate to, or at least all see facets of ourselves in. We can see bits of ourselves, even if you can't completely identify with the character. And I identify with the character in a big way. I think that it is the kind of film that you can watch and get different things from at different times. Because I don't remember exactly when I first watched this film, but I would say it's probably over 20 years ago now. And my, again, perception of it, and not only from the fact that I'm more of an analyst than a audience now, but just from a maturity point of view and a personality point of view, my perceptions of the film are completely different. I think it's something you identify with as you get older. because you've seen more of society and you've seen some of the ways that it kind of doesn't work for you, and you maybe experience some of the betrayals that he goes through in life, because it's called life experience, and life is not always fair. And from that perspective, I think this is a very important film that everybody should watch.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely one that has stood the test of time. And so, Grandad Menace, final thoughts?
I fucking hate you guys. You set of assholes. Stop making me like stuff. And
mission accomplished.
Stop making me.
Yeah, I know this probably was a bit personal for you, though,
Stop
but
it.
I think that's the point of the film.
It
You know,
was.
it's supposed to hit hard, yeah, because we've all been there a little bit. We've all kind of been there, so that's why. That's why we love it. That's why we love it, because it's so cathartic and
there's a catharsis to this film that is just unmatched. It really is.
I know I didn't say a great deal during the stream, but I was just listening to you guys and just going over in my own mind through every scene that we went through, and the more I thought about it, it is scarily relatable. It's, and I'm not saying this to give off some kind of bravado, but that character is like 99% of it is me, crazily sort of relatable. I understand now how he thinks and what he's set against, what he's trying to do. Obviously not the killing his family sort of part of it, but his mindset towards the sort of inaccessible corporations and the laws and rules and loopholes, and the way that you'll just get shut down when you've got some kind of idea or some injustice that's happened to yourself, and they just move the goalposts accordingly so that you can't get anywhere near to any sort of justice that you're looking for. Like the guy with the what was it? The black guy that was
not economically viable.
That kind of you're not getting a loan. Well, why am I not getting a loan? Well, we're not going to tell you. We're just going to put you out on the street, and that is the end of that. It's that kind of thing that people are up against every day. And the Michael Douglas character had enough of that sort of thing, and he was going to take it head on, and everything, his whole environment as he was traveling to. Obviously, he had the side quest of going to see his family, but everything that he came across, all of his obstacles, just kind of exacerbated the fact that he was up against it.
His perception was enforced every single step of the way, and it's all summed up in that line: "They lied to me."
Yeah,
they lied to me. They told me this.
And Duvall's response: "They lie to all of us."
Exactly, and he's no different to anybody else. It's just he can't handle it. That's
something I want to just quickly add. Can you imagine, like, if the entire internet, sort of YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and all the rest of it, did what we did tonight and actually sat and spoke and put our points across, and we didn't sort of argue, but we came to some sort of compromise.
Nice, wouldn't it? We're showing the way. We just need to follow.
That's why I got into this thing in the first place, was to have these conversations.
I lie to everybody, Nix. I even lie to the fish.
No, it's important to have these conversations. It's important to see things from different perspectives. It's important.
Well, I think that Fandad, when you say that, there've been time, 99% there. I think that certainly for those of us a bit more seasoned than I was when I first saw the movie, there's absolutely times where you've been on that ragged edge where things all seem to kind of come unmoored, and you look and go, that just one little thing, and that's going to set me that, okay, here we go. Right. It's safety's off, and I'm not playing by the rules anymore. And I think that, again, that's why if you can't see yourself in this movie, then either you've had a really blessed life with no adversity, or you're just not introspective about yourself.
Well, I'm going to be ending this now because it's getting a little late. So, final thing that we always do before we end. Anything you're plugging at the moment, Inside Man?
On Sunday on the Outcast Creative channel, we have the first episode of our weekly reviews of Spartacus, the TV series. The first series, Blood and Sand.
Yes.
So we finished our Band of Brothers series last Sunday, which was
that was a good
great.
one. That was a good.
That is a great show.
Yeah. And I was quite sad to finish it, to be honest with you. I mean, we did 11 episodes of the Band of Brothers show. We did the 10 episodes that were made, but we also did the unproduced episode as well, the episode that never made it to the series. So if anyone hasn't seen that, I'd urge you to watch it. So we got that this coming Sunday. On Tuesday, doing the Nielsen ratings with yourself, Northern, and whomever else might be coming on. I'm not sure. I know Stupenzo will be there and Blue Collar Loser will be there. And then what have I got? Oh yeah, Tomb Raider next Friday.
Which one?
The first one.
The only one.
The jiggly one.
The good one.
The real one. Yeah.
Not the shit one. Oh god.
Yeah, not the one for Alicia Vikander. I like Alicia Vikander though, but I tried watching that Tomb Raider.
That wasn't good.
It's hard.
And it's a shame because I like Walton Goggins as well, and wasted in it.
Yep.
So yeah, Emperor Goodwin. What else have you got coming up?
Oh, I got B-sides in about 3.5 hours.
Oh, 3.5 hours. What film are you doing then?
Oh, we're doing. So we thought we were going to do Death Race 2000, and sadly,
nice.
we at the very last moment got manually claimed. So instead, we're doing The Wild Angels, which is another classic Roger Corman movie.
You always.
I know that.
Yeah, Bruce Dern and.
Yeah.
And I think I know we're going to have Blue Collar Loser on there, and then Sammy Three-Peat will be our guests.
Let's hope he doesn't crash his fucking Uber cab.
Yeah. Well, or Sammy goes to sleep and starts snoring, for us. He's done that on the stream once or twice.
The guy's a fucking machine. Does he ever sleep?
Yeah, he has actually on a stream.
He wakes himself too hard sometimes.
Yeah. And then I'll be on Gooch's stream next Thursday for Demon Slayer. We've been doing 2 episodes.
Try and catch it if I can. There's so many I need to catch up on. I always miss out on a lot.
Yep, and who knows if I get called up for Mr. Brown's stream, usually get about 10-15 minutes of a notice for that. So there you go.
Yep. Fandad Menace, is there anything coming up?
My wife's birthday next week, so I'll be taking most of my time up with that. We're off to Chester Zoo. She's going to be
nice. So how I'm going to stream that on my channel, though. But let me know. But yeah, you have a good time, though. Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Try my best. Yeah.
But apart from making it next week, is there anything? Have you got any upcoming videos coming on?
I'll probably not get time next week, but I really wanted to make another video on the Time Bandits. Has anyone seen
the
original?
You're talking about the original or that terrible series?
I'm talking about
the shit one.
No, I refuse.
I think I watched half an episode and I literally nodded off.
Terry Gilliam walked off. That was all I needed to know.
But I will say one thing about it is the kid in it that plays Kevin is absolutely mint. He's really good, and the parents are really good. And then when the Time Bandits come on the screen, it's fucking shite.
No.
Whose idea was it to get Lisa Kudrow to speak at the camera?
Yeah, they could have had fucking Warwick Davis as one of the.
Could have had anything. Yeah.
Somebody who could act would be nice.
Could have had a peanut butter jelly fucking sandwich and did a better job. But just the same joke repeated over and over again. They get Kevin's name wrong about 20 times. And Kudrow proclaims that she's not the leader, but it's...
I've got enough bad stuff to watch and review. I'm not watching Time Bandits.
No.
I mean, there's certain things I will not allow to be despoiled by modern media, and Time Bandits is one of those. That's a movie that I love that movie.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So, Critical, what have you got upcoming? Is it something to do with a certain Dead?
Oh man, you're up too late. I released that video an hour before this stream.
It's already up then.
Yeah, it's already up. I called it an embarrassment to Marvel, and people have taken the wrong side of that. When I say it's an embarrassment to Marvel, I mean it embarrasses everything that Marvel have done since Stage 4. It's not a current embarrassment to Marvel.
I mean, to be fair, Marvel's been doing an excellent job of embarrassing themselves. They don't need help in that, but
they need no help.
Yeah, helps to have a bit of contrast.
This shows them up like nothing I've seen. It's got, to paraphrase my video, it's got more pathos, it's got more character creation, it's got more heart, it's got more intelligence, it's got more creativity than all of Phase 4 combined. Apart from No Way Home. I am just talking about Disney Marvel here.
Right.
I enjoyed it. It's got massive flaws. Check out my review. I'd love to get over 50 subscribers. It'd be nice. But yeah, I've got that, and I will find something to review next week. I don't know what. I might need to do my favourite film of all time, but we're watching that in September.
Speaking of getting subscribers, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my guests. The channel should be in the descriptions. The description on this video. So if it
is, I'm glad you like my Predator review, Nick. Thank you very much.
Up after.
That's another one I did recently because my review channel is made up of different letters from different movies, and I've just done Predator, which is the R. The I is Aliens, and that might take a little while because there is a lot to say about that film. Christ, there
is one thing. If you don't mind me just quickly interrupting, I watched your Star Wars: A New Hope to No Hope video, and
it was a good video.
Really enjoyed it, mate. Really enjoyed it. Really good. Really, very, very good.
Yeah, I didn't want to focus on the bad times. I wanted to remind people that there was good times as well. Before the dark times, before Disney. No, I'm glad you liked it, man. Thank you very much.
Very, very good.
Yeah, Nick's come on one day, man. If you ever get around to doing some YouTubing.
Yeah, should they?
Yeah, but yeah,
I do have to ask one thing of Northern English Bastard.
One more thing, yeah.
Have you watched Fritz Lang's M yet?
Oh, what a movie!
I've still got the links, but I have not watched it yet. So much I've had to try and watch.
What a movie!
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Movie.
Jesus Christ, it's been up there for months and I've still not checked it out. But yeah,
that is the best portrayal of a child serial killer that you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really need to watch it. Jesus, but yeah, unfortunately, that is it for tonight. And like I said, to all my guests, please, to all my viewers, if you've not done it already, please subscribe to my guests. Check out their content. They do some great stuff. B-Roll is great. Fandad is great. Critic Al is good. Inside Man hasn't got some content up yet, though, but hopefully he will one day. And but he's a good guy to have stream with.
Bless your heart. Bless you.
Yep. And everybody in the chat, please, thanks for joining me. Nick's fucking toxic. Smilex, David Wilson, Ray Stevens, Sammy Repeat as well. Nice to have you. Yeah, Smilex, have I said that? Yeah.
That's Lance, chat today.
Thank you very much.
Oldest gamer.
And now, oldest gamer. He came in late, but hopefully you can catch the rewatch. Nefarious Ned, thank you very much. And if there's any more I might have missed, I've already said David Wilson.
Gooch.
Gooch. Oh, yeah, sorry, man. I missed you there as well. But yeah, thanks for joining me. And I'll try and get you onto another stream, one of my streams one day. Yeah. Beardy Bro, sorry I missed you again. Thanks for joining me.
Atom Gray.
Yeah, God, great. Sorry, man. Jesus Christ, I was with
my cohort on B-sides.
Yeah, love God King, mate. Love God King. Not B Ryan. Thank you very much. And that is it at the moment. And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for joining me and my guests. But right now, that is me done, and I am off to the pub. Take care and enjoy your weekend.